The world can hear you.
That'll show the world.
We are lucky enough to be playtesting Dueling Fops of Vindamere, a game of Grudges and Braggin by Greg Stolze, which, if you aren't already interested, shame on you.
Okay. We're starting a Kickstarter for it July 9th.
There's two wonderful paragraphs talking about the fops, the layabouts, the ne'er-do-wells, the fancy men, the puff babies, the flouncers, the swing blades, the rakes, the rack shells, the rake spindles, and it goes on and on. It's fantastic. And how they mostly do nothing and then bicker with each other.
I'm Greg Stolze. Can everyone else introduce themselves briefly?
Sure. I'm Brenda Stoddard. Hi.
Ashara Swas.
I'm Rabbit Stoddard. I'm actually in the same room as Brandis.
Stop.
That was all done in post too. I just want everyone to know that we paid for a lot of editing this episode.
Yeah, it took hours and hours.
And then of course I am Dave. I'm them Dave.
So you want me to explain the game to you?
Absolutely, because we did the reading, but I don't know that the chat did.
This is meant to be a pretty simple game. No GM, runs itself. The way this works is Vindamere is sort of like Lankmar's dumber, sluttier cousin. It's this port city full of, with a booze-soaked and deeply corrupt police force, a constellation of snotty, entitled nobles. There is an entire subculture of criminals who also run food trucks, a pantheon of super queer gender-bending gods/goddesses, and so yeah, it's not meant to be taken too seriously. It's like an R-rated Ankh-Morpork. But, so, not quite as crazy as the early Discworld books, but it's, you'll see. So each of us will be portraying the head of a fencing school. And the people who are allowed, of course, to master the implements of violence are the people who own everything, the nobles. So none of us have to work, and none of us have ever regarded a consequence in our lives. So we are the kind of people that you would probably jump out a window to avoid in real life, but the game is gonna be fun. So it focuses on the two twin obsessions of the gentry, which are romance and being the best sword fighter, and the conflicts between them. So, the way you do everything, you have two stats, duelist and fop. And then there are two more derived stats, which are their opposites. So the opposite of foppish is serious, and the opposite of duelist is aristocrat. Duelist plus aristocrat always equals 10. Anything that causes one to rise causes the other to drop. Similarly, foppish plus serious, always 10. Whenever you attempt anything, you roll a d10 and add a combination of these stats. If it's 15 or over, you succeeded, unless 10s always succeed, 1s always fail, because it's possible to get high stats where it's like, anytime I try to stab someone, I will automatically stab them. Unless there's that, 1s always fail thing. And similarly, it's possible to be so extremely silly and upper crust that you could never stab anybody seriously. So, unless you get that lucky 10. Foppish duelist is what you use to put people in their place, either with non-serious swordplay, like Zorro stuff, where you make their clothes fall off, or give them like just a tiny nick on the eyebrow, or just wave it in their face until they panic. Serious duelist is when you're gonna kill some guy, or prepare to kill some guy. That's all it's good for. Foppish aristocrat is what you use to seduce people and make them love you, or else to outshine your rivals. Seduce usually means sexy stuff, but it doesn't have to. You could also seduce someone into being your student, or coming to you as their guru or mentor, or I'm gonna seduce this person into being my best friend, but no one's ever done that. It's always been. Then finally, there's serious aristocrat, which doesn't get a lot of play. It's what you roll to deal with reality. If you need to straighten out something with the peasants, or talk sense to someone, or tell them, no, don't stab her. That's what you use serious aristocrat for. We will play through a set series of scenes. The first scene is where we all fall in love. So it starts at the Midwinter Ball. Then we get 2 random scenes, which could be just about anything from groghouse brawl, civil unrest, erotic machinations. There's even a locked room murder and mystery in there. We roll up random scenes unless we all agree that we are like, oh no, I definitely want to do this scene.
Mm-hmm.
There is a rule of democratic liberty that states if all 5 of us ever agree on something, that happens. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think if it's ever been used for anything other than let's do this one particular event because it sounds hilarious.
Right.
So after 2 random scenes, there's the Spring Cotillion, where everything escalates. 2 more random scenes. And the 7th climactic scene, Ye All Valley Fencing Championship, where the Baron's Claymore is awarded to whomever fights the best. So there's only about 5 bad things that can seriously happen to your fop. If you run out of duelist, one of 2 things will happen. If someone takes away your last point of duelist, they've killed you. But that's pretty uncommon. If you lose your last point of duelist in the course of action and max out aristocrat, you straighten up, fly right, turn into the Henry from the Shakespeare play when he's like, no, I'm not hanging out with Falstaff anymore. I am kingly now. So if that happens, you're removed from play because you have become because you're no longer exciting, frankly. If you run out of aristocrat, your family disowns you. You are no longer considered above the law, and you don't have endless credit. You can no longer just not pay tradesmen, and but you are considered to be the greatest fencer of your age, and you are, but again, removed from play. If you max out foppish, if your foppish ever hits 10, you fall into dissolution and succumb to vice and die within the year of a horrible venereal disease and are removed from play. And if you ever max out serious, you achieve enlightenment and leave behind all the material distractions of Vindamere, and you go off into the hills to contemplate reality. So those are 4 terrible things that can happen that can remove you from play. The 5th, you will have people you love. We're going to roll up a pair of your starting beloveds, and you will try to poach beloveds from the other players. If at any point you don't have any beloveds in your stable, you despair. And you go off into your house and you never see anyone, and eventually you move out to the moors and just stare out over the swamp, contemplating the bad mistakes that left you so lonesome and miserable. So it's rough. So keep your beloveds.
Yeah.
Do what you must. Stab whom you must to keep your beloveds.
There we go, full bar.
All right, so character generation fits on a single page. A 4 or 5 step process, depending on how creative you want to be. And the first is you find out how fancy you are by rolling 1d6 plus 2, and that's your starting foppish rating. Before you even have a name, you have foppish.
Do you want us to go in order, or should we all just start throwing dice everywhere?
Just start throwing dice.
Start throwing
This will
dice.
take forever if we. This will take forever if we take turns.
You said d6 plus
Oof.
2, yes?
Yep. And so then you know what your serious is, because it's 10 minus your fop.
So that's foppish is d6 plus 2?
D6 plus 2.
Yeah, so
And
mine
then
is-
do the same for duelist.
Was the inverse?
10 minus that number
10
is
minus
the other one.
Right. Don't want a
So-
negative.
For my character, I rolled up foppish 4, which means my serious is 10. And I rolled up duelist 5, which means my aristocrat is 10. So my
exactly.
character's not really outstanding at anything. But
Yeah, I got foppish
getting
5, 6.
I am a 3
foppish 5,
7.
serious 5,
Yeah,
duelist 6, and aristocrat 4.
Yeah.
All right.
So I am foppish 3, serious 7, duelist 7, aristocrat
Wow.
3. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did I,
Very, very tilted.
That
so you're all like this.
seems fairly correct, actually.
Yeah. I may begin rather tedious, which
Oh
again,
no, there's all
as
kinds of
pointed out, is correct.
there's all kinds of fun stuff that you can do with serious duelist, like kill people. Sharang, what'd you get?
So my foppish and my duelist are both 6. I rolled 2 4s. And so my serious and aristocrat are both 4.
All right, so you're quite the fop there. And Dave,
So I got foppish 6, duelist 4, and then if I'm doing it correctly, serious and aristocrat both 5. Oh no, wait, you
no.
added 10. Excuse me. So
This math ain't hard, Dave. Come on.
I know. I was too busy writing. So wait, foppish
Well.
plus serious. Okay, so foppish 6, serious 4, and
Yep.
then duelist
The
and aristocrat
inverse of me.
5. Yeah.
Name your school, and you can make up a name for your school, your swordplay, or you can just roll 3d6 and generate one randomly.
That sounds amazing.
I'm naming my character's sword fighting school is the Prim Maiden's Precaution.
Always avoid alliteration.
I went with the anything goes school of swordplay.
Ooh.
I have the Razor Hair Fellowship. I am literally a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I'm going to be the way of the symbolic synecdoche.
Way to bring a sci-fi element into that.
I'm foreign.
I am the flashy
All right.
river school.
Okay.
Do
Hey.
people often get your school confused with the metonymy school? I'm just asking.
We destroyed them a while ago.
Oh, very good.
Oh, hey,
Did you destroy just a part or the whole?
We absorbed the remainder.
I just went
All
for
right,
a bad
so the
anime
next-
reference. So
I rolled. And
I've
it
got
still
a
sounds like
whole-
it's about you.
yeah,
I have
know
a
that-
whole martial art in my mind where, these women are training with steel-ribbed fans that have sharpened tips and parasols with concealed blades in the handle. So, next step, if you're on page 5, you roll 2d20 and see who your close people are, the people you love, your beloveds. And I got, 16. A boorish second. Your subordinate teacher knows the strikes, but is coarse and unmannerly. Always
2D.
straight with you.
Okay.
This
So-
chart's amazing.
In
I-
every scene,
I actually really
what'd you
like
get?
Comrade Boozebag as a character name.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
in some scenes, it will have to be your instructor who goes in, or it will have to be a beloved who goes in, or both will go in. But in many scenes, you get to pick who's in attendance. You always use your instructor's base scores, but when a beloved is in center stage in a scene, they usually change those somehow. So if you've got a badass granny and you send her in to a scene, she has +1 foppish and +1 duelist. And her adventures in that scene may change your scores, but they don't permanently change them.
Okay, so we don't go ahead and apply the modifier to our scores, because otherwise I'd wind up
No.
with Duelist 8 and Aristocrat 2.
Which-
Yeah, I didn't erase anything
you
off
got
my sheet.
Comrade Boozebag.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see, what did I... I ended up with a dear sister.
Oh,
so I rolled 2 4s. So
Okay.
So,
you have
should I
two
have
addlepated
addlepated
elders.
elders, or should I re-roll? One.
You would normally have two addlepated elders who are, the most important people to you. They could be your parents. But if we all agree, you can re-roll one.
Grandma Joe and Grandma
And
Josephine.
I'm fine with it.
Wow. Very nice.
I mean, I will agree just because we want to play the system, but it is funny to think of both of your bedridden grandparents.
I did not know we were playing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That is quite the twist.
The Chocolate River School.
All right.
Ooh,
And by the way,
no. Gross.
Mhm.
pick names for your beloveds. There is a list on the previous page of male, female, and gender and category-defying nicknames. So you can roll those, or you can just say, my dear sister is named Iphigenia. And my boorish second is I gotta think of a good name for my boorish second.
These
Just
names.
known as Chunks.
Chunks.
Yes, somehow a man named Chunks has wound up as the associate instructor at the Prim Maiden's Precaution School of Self-Defense.
I'm sure that's fun.
There's a story there. Oh, and the name I came up with for my character is Clytemnestra Winebringer. I think this may be the best name I've ever come up with for anything.
No one has the heart to tell Chunks he needs to leave, so
He has a good heart. Well, it's better than his teeth anyway.
So I have a badass granny who is the Dowager Duchess de Fenestria. And I have a hot-headed student named Cyril.
The hot-headed student is always fun.
I was going to say, I have
You've got Comrade Boozebag.
Comrade Boozebag. Her name is Wicked Pipistrella. Absolutely just modeled on a friend of mine. And then an enlightened mentor, Balthazar. So enlightened, he doesn't need more name than that.
Give me a second.
Oh, Rabbit, you got...
I have
Did
two
you decide to
addlepated
go with
elders.
two...
Why not?
You decided not to re-roll? That's just going to be too fun. Dave, what'd you wind up with?
So my comrade Boozebag is named Scarf Ace, which is definitely not a reference. And my alluring Namorata.
Namorata. Oh.
Yeah, English is definitely serving me well today. Is named Ohioa.
Nice.
And I was telling chat earlier,
The beauteous Ohio.
the beauty, yeah, just flat, endless. My character's name is H.H. Wellpool, and the H's stand for Harlan Harcourt, and he's definitely not a murderer.
Wow.
All right. H.H. Whew.
Of naming both my adulpated elders. One is Sturdivant Shapely, and the other is Lucianus Lucionis.
The way the love of beloveds work is they start out neutral towards everyone except the person whose sheet they're on, who they're, that's their starting loyalty. But to lure them away is a 2-stage process. And the first stage is they become intrigued, and the second stage is they become devoted. And if you can escalate someone to devoted, like if Clytemnestra can seduce what was it, Sturdivant was yours, Rabbits?
Yes.
Rabbit, yours was Sturdivant?
Yeah.
Yeah, if she can seduce Sturdivant sufficiently, he will leave your house and come to Clytemnestra's dojo, and then I will have a third beloved, and you'll be down to just one. Ha 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 ha!
Oh,
But the course of true love ne'er does run smooth. You'll see. Are we ready to just jump foot first into ye midwinter ball? All right. So, let me find ye midwinter ball. So each of us, the instructor, of course, attends the event of the season, this gigantic ball with the great and good, or at least extremely wealthy of Vindamere in attendance, and we pick one beloved to go as well. And I am definitely bringing Iphigenia, because I don't want Chunks making trouble. It's not a Chunks kind of place. He's gonna be off at the bear baiting, I'm sure.
I didn't have a say in the matter because the Dowager Duchess de Fenestria is like, obviously I'm going. Was there ever a question? And I'm like, yes, Grandma. Of course, Grandma. I'd be like, Granny. No, even better. I'd be like, Grandmummy.
I'm picturing Clytemnestra in this, very high-necked, full-skirted lavender gown with a matching fan and matching lavender eye patch.
And I'm going to say that the Duchess is in a full suit of metal armor that is inscribed with Lord Byron's poetry.
Oh, that's beautiful.
She's gonna sweat so much in that.
Oh, she doesn't care.
Oh, but it's winter, so it could be okay because it's winter, so that'll
one of the
just keep her
hallmarks of
warm
my
if she
school is
trips
that
over by
our
the doorway.
weapons. Yeah, one of the hallmarks of our school is that our weapons are poetry inscribed, but the Dowager Duchess goes a step further and she inscribed her entire suit of armor with Byronic poetry.
Big gauntlets. Boom. Boom.
So
all right. Who's everyone else bringing?
I am definitely bringing Comrade Boozebag, the wicked Pipistrella, and not my enlightened mentor, because too enlightened for this kind of scene, I feel. Who wants to be led in a proper direction at these kinds of times?
Of the two adulpated elders, Sturdivant Shapely is my mentor. So instead I'll bring my evil uncle, Lucianus Lucionis.
Lucianus Lucionis. Okay. Dave, who you bringing?
Oh, it's Ohio.
Certainly at least a runner-up for hottest woman in the city is all draped over you like a cheap suit. All right.
Working as intended.
So, first thing we do This starts with, does anybody have a higher duelist than Brandis? Brandis, you were 7, right?
Yep. How
Roll
do
a
I start?
d6 to see who your teacher has suddenly been smitten with. So it's supposed to go counterclockwise, or no, it's supposed to go clockwise, but we can just go down the list, and you skip yourself, of course, because you can't fall in love with your own beloved. That's crazy.
Game
So
would
what
end
do
too
you
quickly.
I have rolled a 6.
You've fallen in love with Dave's alluring inamorata, Ohio.
No surprise.
She is just so write down is it up at the top of your character sheet is in love with Ohio. Next down from him is Dave.
All right.
Dave,
So you
roll
said
a
it was
d6. Count off.
D6. Let's.
Yeah, it's not going to matter much, but d6 for convention's sake.
I also got a 6.
You have fallen in love with Rabbit's
Uncle?
lascivious uncle.
Evil uncle.
It's all in the name,
The evil
right?
uncle.
Yeah. With Lucianus Lucianus.
Oh, Luciano. Yeah.
Luscious Lucianus Lucionus.
I need something more exotic than Ohio.
Well,
Ohio was like, honey, how come you aren't paying attention to me? I am. Puts his hand on the face, pushes her away. All right, Rabbit, roll a d6.
Okay.
Here's hoping you fall for Ohio.
4.
Yeah, it's either. Okay, Dave, what was your character's name?
H.H. Wellpool.
Either H.H. Wellpool or Ohio. Take your pick.
Oh.
The city's hottest woman or the man who's like, it's not a murder castle. It's, at worst, a grievous bodily harm chateau.
And thank you for noticing.
Oh, I read Devil in the White City.
Let's see. My character, Quentin Fulbor Bernabran, is probably more likely to be into murder castles, honestly. So, and less likely to be into the world's most beautiful woman.
No, it's
all right. So
Murder Castle.
Runner-up 4, but yeah. Okay, so you're in love with HH. Darang, who did you bring?
I brought my badass granny in a suit of armor covered in Byronic poetry. I even picked which poem it is, if you want to know.
Oh yes.
Oh God. What? Yeah, just tell me who your instructor is. She sounds like a lot.
So the instructor is Foxglove Belladonna Basil, the instructor of the Way of the Symbolic Synecdoche.
So I now kind of want to fight Greg's character for that insult to Byronic Granny.
Yeah. I was going to say, in terms of
you'll have your opportunity.
Foxglove is not saving you.
Clytemnestra has fallen in love with Foxglove. She just sees him and she's like, "Oh, when we fenced last year, he was so fancy. I don't know what this is. What is this sensation? What is blossoming?
Something so new."
All right, so it's either HH or Ohio.
So why not Ohio?
Ohio.
So we can compete for Ohio's affection.
Yes, you're all chasing after Williams song.
This is how the game really kind of gets in gear.
Right.
All right, so now we have all of us have shown up. The god/goddess of love dipped their beard in the punch or something. We're all doing this, and Clytemnestra is fanning herself fiercely with her 5-pound war fan. And now we do things. Once every teacher and beloved has taken one action, the sun rises and everyone goes home. So the options, and we start with Brandis again. The options are seduce somebody, make mock or engage in petty fisticuffs, take mighty draughts and boast, defend your honor, offer sage advice or offer sage advice. Yeah, it's basically these 5 things. So each character is going to do one of these.
So I have noted Foxglove's most inappropriate glances and affections toward my Ohioa.
You actually hear me reciting poetry to her. You can hear me say, "She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies." And you also pointedly notice that I'm seemingly reading off of my grandmom's armor.
Can I use throwing up in my mouth a little bit as my weapon?
What
I will be
you gonna do
attempting
there?
to humiliate Foxglove with rapier in hand.
Yeah, and you can clearly see
Okay.
I'm reading the poetry off of somewhere. So
Carving initials in your clothing as you are so busily and distractedly reciting.
Stolen poetry.
Roll
I'm
foppish
changing
duelist.
the C to U. So I'm like, "You walk in beauty like that," to be like, no one will know if I change it to second person, right?
So my foppish plus duelist is 10. What do I roll?
Mm-hmm.
I have rolled a 6, so that will indeed be the 15.
It has been done.
Okay, so it is Dave who describes how Sharang's character Foxglove looks like a ninny and is left humiliated and seething. Foxglove loses a point of foppish, which means you gain a point of serious.
Perfect. Okay, describe how I look though, because I want to picture myself being humiliated.
Of course, that's normal.
I'm wearing a outfit made of, because my foppish is higher, made of black lace, but within the lace, like the lace is actually Yeats. So it's not Lord Byron. So it's like Yeats poetry is like lace Yeats is covering me completely. So yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to be too topical, but I think what happens is just you start stumbling, unable to pronounce a word, and it kind of draws everyone's attention.
Because I'm reading off my grandmummy's armor, and like she's moving around and chatting people up, right? So I'm like,
right, hold it still.
And then you realize that he has, written something on your back so deftly that you didn't feel it until like dork is written on is sliced into your clothes. All right, so yes,
yeah.
Foxglove, embarrassed. All right, Dave.
Yeah.
What's your character doing? What's HH doing as Foxglove recites poetry to Ohioa?
Yeah, I was split between offering sage advice and boasting. So I think it will be the boasting, right? So I believe it was get drunk and boast.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Multiple glasses of unusually good Chardonnay.
Does that fall under aristocrat? Use foppish and aristocrat?
That is foppish plus dueling.
Foppish plus dueling.
You are going to make a brag, and how brags work is you choose one specific thing you're going to do, like, or that is going to happen, like, my student is going to win the All Valley, or I'm going to seduce that badass granny over there, or I'm going to kill Foxglove. And if the roll fails, no one takes you seriously and you lose a point of foppish. If you succeed at the roll, you gain a point of foppish. And if you fulfill the brag later, you get a point of foppish on top of that. So what is your brag? What is the intention that HH places into the world?
Yeah, I think the brag is that just that my wit and my charm is such that I can convince anyone to take a midnight stroll with me. There are none who can resist my intelligence and my interest and my conversational pizzazz. The most interesting man in the room.
Well, you gotta pick a specific person, like a hard target. Like, I'm gonna make them go walk with me.
Oh, yeah, well, so I was thinking it was Luscious Livonius. Lucianus.
There you go.
All right.
And then
Okay, so you have bragged.
Sorry, go ahead.
You have bragged that you are gonna get Luscious Lucius? Lucinus?
Just call him Luscious Lucy, it's fine.
Loose lips have sunk this ship.
Yeah, we're suffering.
You and Lou are going off in the bushes.
Yeah,
All right,
Lou
make your foppish duelist roll and see what you get.
So I have
D10 plus foppish plus duelist.
Yes.
15.
Okay, so I have Fop 6, Duelist 5. We got exactly a 15. I rolled a 4.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Ohio was like, oh, you wouldn't have to work very hard to get me to take a walk in the bushes with you, but everyone else is like, yeah, he's pulled Ohio. He could pull anyone.
It has worked.
So yes, gain a point of foppish.
Excellent.
And if Lucius does in fact wind up going off with you later tonight, woo, another point of foppish still. If he doesn't, nobody cares. All right. Rabbit, what is your instructor doing?
Okay. So, out of curiosity, what is the point of being infatuated with another instructor?
Well, it doesn't come up very often, but yeah, there will be points of forced interaction. It's a way to just inflame the drama.
Gotcha, okay. Well, in that case, I am actually probably going to go seduce the awesome poetry armor granny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the Dowager Duchess de Fenestria.
Yeah, Dowager Duchess de Fenestria, because she was slighted by Greg's instructor, and even if nobody else noticed that slight to her honor, I did, and clearly need to go and make that up to her, especially since her grandson just looked like a total freaking idiot. Her armor. So she probably is in need of a pick-me-up about now.
Roll foppish aristocrat.
Foppish aristocrat. So that's a D10.
Oh, by the way, if you want to seduce someone who wasn't specifically brought, they're here anyway. So, but yeah, if you really have a taste for chunks, I'll throw that out there. But no, I think you going after Triple D is yeah, this sounds good. So, all right, what'd you get?
So wait, so you roll a D10?
D10 plus foppish plus aristocrat.
D10 plus foppish plus aristocrat. Okay. So, let's see. Well, foppish plus aristocrat is 9 plus 2, so 11.
All right, Sharang, you have to choose how Triple D lowers the boom on.
Yeah, I think she's having a terrible night. Everything is.
So what? How do you go and start trying to seduce her?
Oh God, it probably looks an awful lot like. Probably starting by bringing her a drink to recover from being the unfortunate center of the other unfortunate situation.
So you bring a drink, and so the Dowager Duchess, who is, badass, elderly, and in her heyday had all the creme de la creme fawn over her and try and read her poetry. She looks at you, even though she's wearing a Byron dress, she's inspired by Shelley, and she looks at you and she says, "Round the decay of this colossal wreck, boundless and bare, alone and level sands stretch far away. And she says that, turns, and walks away.
Wow, that's probably the coolest way I've ever been shot down. I'm
Wow.
actually more impressed.
That is.
So that's from Ozymandias.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Very nice. Very, very
that's
nice.
Just
yeah.
I have like 4 tabs
Yeah,
of different forms open, you guys.
Of course.
I would have believed you were doing this off the top of
Meanwhile-
the bean, Sharang.
That would have, yeah. Well, Clytemnestra squares her shoulders and, undoes one tiny pearl button at the top of her high neck dress and slides on up next to Foxglove and is like, so, what's this verse about the Valley of the Black Pig on your shoulder? And,
Yeah, so he's like fumbling a bit.
flutters what eyelashes.
Yeah, because he just like fumbled and couldn't impress Ohio. So when you come up, he's like, oh, what? He's kind of like out of sorts.
So yes, I got a 10. Which does not have any rules effect because, you're an instructor and have free will and all that crap. But yeah, Clytemnestra comes on strong. Is the fan has taps you with her suspiciously heavy fan and giggles and kind of messes with the combs in her hair that double as throwing knives and yes, just yep, the whole thing. So okay, my stats don't change, but I have successfully wiggled my eyebrows at Foxglove.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because he's feeling like, oh no, Ohio, but someone and even though he got embarrassed, someone actually came up to him. He's like, oh, someone came up to me after my embarrassment. He's kind of taken just by that simple fact,
Oh my, attention.
Basically.
Okay. And what's Foxglove doing?
So, let's see. Foxglove. Oh, you know what? Why not? So now that someone has come up to him, he's going to brag. To be like, oh, someone's giving me attention. Let me cultivate more attention. Let me sow the seeds of more attention by bragging. And I have to brag about something
Quit
specific.
while I'm ahead. What do I look like? Okay.
A
And I have to
peasant
brag about something specific, right?
Yes.
and with a target.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. You know what? I am not a man to lose faith. So I'm gonna brag about. Oh, Ohio. I'm gonna be like, I'm going to feed Ohio a dessert from my own fingers tonight.
Scandalous.
And
Ooh.
yeah, and Clytemnestra's like, oh, doing that, are ya? That sounds like fun.
Okay,
She's got
so
like this vein pulsing in her forehead.
yeah, I'm taken with you, but I'm oblivious that you're trying to flirt with me. I'm just like, oh, attention, great, give me all of it. Let me tell you about this woman who I want to feed profiteroles with my bare hands. And I've always wanted to make a profiterole, so okay. I'm gonna roll my d10, and I'm bragging. It'll be foppish plus duelist. Roll my d10. And I rolled a 4, so that's an 11 plus 4. I got an exact 15.
Okay, so yes, you are now even more foppish.
Well,
So
I don't.
+1 foppish.
When do I add my granny powers? Sorry, my grandmummy powers.
When the granny is doing something.
Okay, great.
So now that
So,
we've
yeah.
done all the instructors, we also do a round of all the beloveds.
Perfect.
So we
Yeah,
go
I got-
to Brandis, and who was your guest, Brandis? You brought
I brought
oh,
my
booze bag.
Yeah. So the Wicked Pipistrella. Now what do I like? just kind of thinking about what this should work like. Are we having them pursue our character goals? What's the thought here?
Whatever you think it would be fun for Wicked Pipistrella to do.
Fair enough.
Pipistrella.
Let's see. All right. The things I'm really good at are unfortunately very final.
Very final.
Part of the game is that people tend to get trapped in cycles of violence, seduction, or practicality, where it's like, well, the only thing I'm really going to succeed at is being a priggish stick in the mud, so I guess I'm going to be a priggish stick in the mud, would improve my chances of being a priggish stick in the mud until I achieve enlightenment and am ejected from the game. So yeah,
Right.
failing at stuff is actually cool sometimes. Sometimes you really just want to go down and...
All right. So my dear comrade Boozebag is behaving appropriately to her moniker. And is bragging to anyone who will listen and many people who will not about let's see, something that I will something I intend to accomplish. I mean, certainly being the fighting champion who personally clears the worst element out of the worst parts of the city, because that's just what civic-minded people like me do. I think that might be her boast about Nikorosh, my instructor. Does that
She's
work?
going to claim that you're going to go kill the worst of the worst vigilante style. Well, okay, so the second worst people in Vindamere are probably like some corrupt demon-worshipping snake cultists, but the
Sure.
worst are the food truck guys.
Well, I'm not going to have her claim that I'll kill them, because, I mean, come on. But because
you
that
haven't
doesn't
thought this
sound great.
through. If he kills them, who will sell fried butter on a stick?
Well, we're right. Like, cut me own throat dibbler. It needs competition. So right. I'm going. She will brag that Nikorosh will clear out that nest of vipers, by which we mean people and also actual vipers. And so right. She has a +1 to duelist, I believe, and what is it? -1 to foppish? Is that a +1 aristocrat? Okay, so
yeah.
so +1 duelist, and then foppish. That's an 11 plus a d10.
Yep.
That's a 7, so that's a big success. Rolled an 18.
Okay, yeah. So she's bragging about how awesome you are at swordplay, and you're over there with your eyes blazing with seriousness, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you go kill him, snakes."
All right. So I've succeeded at the roll.
Tired. All right.
Succeeded at the roll
So
and gained +1
you,
foppish.
yes, you are getting less serious by the moment.
Well,
Everyone's
if we're actually
decided
acting
that
on it, I might be unserious for a moment, but that's not a danger.
Oh no, you gain the foppish whether you succeed or not.
No, I mean the second point of foppish.
In
I'm not
people's
worried.
minds. Yeah, in people's minds, you've already succeeded.
Right.
All right. So
Your mind-
Dave, what's Ohio up to?
I'm going back and forth between flirting outrageously, And oh shoot, what was the other one? Hold on, I scrolled down too far. And just seducing someone can she have someone like flirt with her like that?
She yeah.
I mean, if you want the
Absolutely.
hot-headed student to be there, for example.
What's that?
Yeah.
Like Greg said, others can be there. So I have that hot-headed student Cyril who could be there if you want.
Sure. Well,
Or Chunks.
I was actually thinking Chunks.
She's like, ooh, rough trade.
I was thinking that. She's like, okay, so I'm not getting enough attention here, so let's go talk to Chunks, and then, you know, everyone will wonder what's happening.
Okay.
So flirt outrageously with Chunks.
And she's got
+2 fop, -2 aristocrat. So I'm doing
seduction is
sorry.
Okay, so it's a wash, but
Right.
So yeah. Foppish aristocrat. Let's see if Chunks falls in love with Ohio.
And no, got a 1. So even though it's a +12, it's only a 13.
Wow.
That did not go as intended.
Yeah, Chunks is just like, you know what you should do is you should come down to our school and learn the prim maiden's precaution. And he just tries and swerve this into a sales pitch.
She's
like, oh, I'm not a prim or a maiden.
Right, and he's like, we're gonna get through this.
Commitment to the bit. Commitment to the bit.
Poor Ohio can't even pull Chunks.
Can't even pull Chunks. God.
Chunks. All right. So Rabbit, what is Luge doing?
Well, so the problem with having, so -2 foppish. Yikes. Really the only thing that he can do with any ability is offer sage advice.
Aww.
Like, seriously, there is nothing that is worth doing otherwise.
Unless failing is creatively helpful. For any of the actions.
Well, actually, hold on.
For Bragg,
for
failing can be creatively helpful.
Actually, to prevent Lucius Lucianus from going off with let's see, who was trying to seduce?
That was me.
Lucius Lucy? Right. Okay. I think he's gonna go pick a fight.
So like I'm gonna dump this person's body by the riverbank fight, or a slap impressively entertainingly fight?
Probably slap impressively entertainingly. Let's see. Who is it?
All right, who's he want to slap?
Say Chunks.
Wow, right. Probably actually Granny for breaking my heart.
Oh.
That's so funny because I was gonna be like, I want her to make fun of the uncle, so I love this. Okay.
Lucius Lucy is gonna go challenge Granny's honor over there.
The Dowager Duchess de Fenestria.
The elders are gonna abuse each other. They'll probably wind up.
All right.
And that's how that goes, right? I mean, it's basic, uncle auntie subplot to Bollywood film.
That's
right, yes,
outstanding.
I say you're a disgrace to our generation.
Yeah.
You were a tramp 30 years ago. All right, yeah. So roll foppish duelist and describe the form his bullying takes. And the
All
form
right.
is just he's gonna just say, "Let's fight. Let's do this thing. You think you're tough? Show me."
No, it's probably not going to be that. It's probably going to be you roll, and then we'll figure out what exactly
Okay.
this goes. Oh snap! Okay, all right. So hold on a sec. This was
Yeah, roll of a 9 plus
it was a
your
9 plus foppish and duelist. So
Mm-hmm.
all right, so it's -2 foppish because adult elder, but so that's +8 instead of 10, so that's going to be 17.
Grandpa Simpson gets it. So
Arf!
yeah, he. All right, and yeah, it
Alrighty.
would be Dave who describes how Lucius's ploy leaves the Duchess humiliated and seething.
Wait, Dave?
And yeah,
Yeah.
the player to your left.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So another player describes it.
All right.
Yeah, on the failure. So I apologize. I had to step away for 1 sec. The failure was whose?
The Dowager Duchess Defenestria.
Yeah.
Yeah, it humiliated
Has been
Defenestria.
humiliated by Loose Lou.
Oh my goodness. I think I think it just has to go back to the poetry then, right?
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna bust
Yeah,
out.
I think it definitely. I think that they have to just get into some sort of like quoting thing. There's the usage of like the Oxford comma and how it relates to some sort of possessive quality of some.
No, I was gonna go like the wretch consented all in self up in this piece.
I assumed we were going to hear some Ambrose beers.
Yeah, I think Luscious Lou just cites sources at the right time.
Yeah, the wretch
So he's
consented all in
technically
self.
The
You
best
shall
kind of
prepare the
correct.
And doubly dying shall go down to the vile dust from whence she sprung, unwept, unhonored, and unsung.
Wow.
To play this game, I really need to bone up on my poetry. That's all I'm gonna say.
I am sending a recommendation for this game to one of my friends who memorizes poetry without intending to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really, Trang just brought that shit.
No. I agree, but I think you see how
I'm
Laurie would-
foreign.
Yes, obviously.
This is how you
Alright,
play
so
role
yeah,
playing games
he's-
in my country.
That tracks, Sharon. Yeah, agree.
It's all down to poetry quoting. Man, why was I trapped in America? All right, so yeah, so Lou has humiliated the Dowager Duchess of
Does that mean I
Defenestra.
lose anything?
She's trying to what? Yeah,
Does that
it
mean I
doesn't.
lose
Let's see. Oh, yeah, you lose a point of foppish because what makes her look bad makes you look bad, and you're already the back of your shirt has been scrawled open.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a bad night for yours. It's a bad night to be a cynic dosh lover.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, let's see.
More like
Next, we've
cynic
got
than-
Iphigenia. So Iphigenia is going to unintentionally seduce Lou. Maybe. It's not that she's like, oh, well, who's this tall drink of water? Because that's not her. She is the sweet dear sister. But let's see. It's foppish plus aristocrat plus 1. So D10 plus 11. She makes some kind of impression on Lou. Just from being her very proper, gentle ideal of quiet, submissive womanhood self. And with a 10, he's like, she would complete me. So, Lou is now infatuated. So put this on your sheet. Lou is now infatuated with Iphigenia.
He's
And
also
fill in one little
infatuated
heart.
with HH, right? Or
With
what was it?
I thought HH was infatuated with him.
Gotcha, but I thought he
So we're for-
succeeded in
Oh, did he? Okay, yeah, no, you can.
before. So
I-
You can. Did you
Yeah.
succeed, Dave?
I succeeded my brag,
Okay.
but it was only like I'm not sure how we made it come to fruition.
fair
Sorry.
enough.
Oh, you
Alright.
haven't yet. No,
Yeah.
no, he's more interested in Iphigenia. So
Yeah.
yeah. There's a reason that on the Beloveds sheet there are multiple lines for them to be infatuated with people, because
Yeah, that's what I think.
obviously, how are you even gonna construct a basic love triangle without that? But yeah, she has caught his eye with the incredibly delicate way that she raises her glass of tea and sips from it ever so delicately, and he's like staring at her extended pinky, feeling like in that tiny fine digit is contained all the mysteries of femininity that he has never plumbed but
He's
longs
like, I want to
to.
feed her
Yeah, fill in
profiterole.
So yeah, just after humiliating the old bag, he's like, "Hell, who's this? Wow, I've been wrong about everything, including myself. Is my life an empty sham without her? I think my life might be an empty sham without her."
Very spring in the lap of winter.
All right, so Sharang,
I'm
what's
Say-
the Triple D doing after being embarrassed like
I think
that?
the people are gonna try and kill him.
Okay.
right?
right.
That makes sense, right? Because she got humiliated. So I'm gonna say she has a poisoned bookmark, which she's gonna try and offer him a piece of poetry to read, and then he'll grab the bookmark and hopefully be poisoned and die.
Beautiful.
All right.
Yeah, so that's duelist and serious, right?
Yes.
And she gets a +1 in duelist and foppish, but that doesn't count. So yeah.
This. Have I
Yeah,
mentioned sometimes this escalates quickly?
She walks up and she like coldly hands him a book of Shelley poetry, like here, and it's closed, so you have to open it on the bookmark, right? So
Oh,
Genius.
name of the rose.
and I rolled a 5, so that's a 6 + 5, 11 + 5. So yeah, 16.
So yeah, like there's this puff of dust from it, and it's like, and within like a day and a half, perishes. Wow. Okay.
And she
So good.
announces, "Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair."
And just
Wow. Alright.
okay.
Went full aggro. All right.
Wow, it's on now. Okay. Yeah, Brandis, you brought it. Which character did you bring as a backup? Who was the beloved who
my
accompanied-
beloved. That's Wicked Pipistrella.
Boozebag.
Comrade
Oh,
Boozebag.
but she already did her thing, right?
Yes, I went
Wicked
first.
Pipistrella has acted. Okay, so yeah, the scene ends with, we close with him like, I've read this poem several times.
Do I
And
take
then,
the duelist?
the next morning. What?
Do I gain a duelist for defeating someone, or what happens?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You just killed this dude. What more do you want?
Oh, okay, cool. Great. That's fine.
Okay, so that's wow. Yeah, so that's the end of the night. Is he's feeling ill and probably dead by dawn. All right, so that was the scene.
Ye midwinter ball.
And we lost a beloved already. Yeah. Wow, Rabbit, you're down one beloved. You better make a move.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
so next we got Dave rolling to see. Hey Dave, have you got a D12?
I do. I'm being bad and just using roll 20.
Whatever. Okay, let's
That is
see
a
which
4.
scene we randomly get. It is Locked Room Mystery!
Heyo. I love escape
Okay.
rooms.
So everybody picks a character to be present at a delightful weekend at Lady Satrogis's estate, just a few miles outside of town. But after a restful night, a ghastly surprise awaits. Lord Ravenspite didn't answer when the chambermaid brought his breakfast. After much knocking and pounding, a skinny lad was lowered off the roof to force entry through the window, and the Lord is dead. Not just dead, but lying with his head stuffed in the fireplace all singed. Who could have done it? And how? So, Dave, is your instructor going to this, or is it one of the beloveds?
Oh, it is a beloved. Scarface is quite the detective. In another life, he was known as Professor Plum.
All right. So Scarface is in attendance. Rabbit, you've got one. You've got one beloved left. Are they gonna go? Or is your going?
I mean, I guess they will.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'm definitely sending Iphigenia.
My mentor.
You know, she just who was completely unaware that potentially the love of her life died from book dust poisoning at the ball. She's just, she's just trying to get her days occupied. So,
Well, right.
so Iphigenia's there. Sharang, who you said?
My favorite character of all my 3 has to be the Grandmummy. So, like, Grandmummy is definitely. I'm gonna use her as much as possible.
Mhm.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the triple D is there with Iphigenia. And
Is she busty? Imagine now she's very busty. You keep calling her Triple D.
You just couldn't see it under all the heavy armor.
Exactly. There you go.
Because there'd be no reason to see it in heavy. Yeah.
She's
So,
going to
Brandis?
Dimitrescu real soon now.
Right.
sending your instructor, sending a beloved. What you doing?
Oh, okay. I am sending my beloved, the enlightened mentor, Balthazar. He's very good at.
All right, and Dave, you were sending
Comrade Boozebag.
Comrade Boozebag is hanging out with Balthazar and Iphigenia. This will be great.
It's a great group.
All right. Each character gets one mystery action, which could be identifying the killer. But if someone wants to actually be the secret killer, they act first but roll nothing as they try to hide their tracks. But so is anyone going to volunteer to have one of your characters actually be Lord Ravenspite's murderer, or no?
Is it allowed to say like my hot-headed student is the killer, or does that mean he's there, not the grandma?
You'd have to send him. Yeah, you'd have to send him instead of the grandma.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I'd let you mulligan it.
I just want to play with my grandma.
Are we just?
I just want to play with my grandma.
So All right, so nobody's volunteering to step up as the killer.
I will be the killer, but I want it to be H.H. Holmes
Dave,
then.
all right. Okay,
so
you're
Scarface
sending
is
Holmes in.
Yeah. So we're back to Wellpool.
Poor Scarface.
Yeah. So
All right. So
Wellpool is the killer.
Wellpool's the killer, and he's hiding his tracks.
Absolutely.
All right. Rabbit, you sent the other addle-pated elder, who was, what was his name?
Sturdivant Shapely.
Sturdivant.
Yeah.
Okay, so the option Sturdivant has, he can yell at people and bloviate and like shake them by their lapels to try and and gather everyone in a room. Where were you when Lord? So that's the browbeating option. You can call the notoriously drunk cops of Vindamere and see if the city guard sorts it out. You can try and actually be a detective. Or you can try and leverage this tragedy for erotic itch. Because you've got the perfect excuse to suggest that no one should go off alone. And once you've picked someone to watch over, it's just a short step to the only way we can really be safe is if we strip naked to make sure neither of us is hiding vials of poison upon their person.
The logic is flawless.
Yeah, what's
Okay. All right. So Sturdivant Shapely is probably going to do some detectionizing.
Oh.
all right. Roll serious plus aristocrat.
Serious plus aristocrat.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Oh, wait. Is it? It's not your. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. No, it is your action. It is your action. Because, is he gonna figure out that it was HH?
Right.
That's the question we've got here.
So this one is a more quiet and studious, blend into the background sort. So, all right. So that's 5 plus serious plus aristocrat. So that's going to be 15.
You figured out HH did it.
Yeah.
Short-lived.
How did you identify HH?
Probably by just sitting there and listening while and not being noticed by anyone while HH was doing some dastardly thing, like, I don't know, stashing blood-stained murdering implements, or boasting about it quietly to one of his beloveds or something like that.
I tossed the bloody gloves into the fireplace, thinking now that you've removed the Lord, no one will go back there to look. But you were sitting in the chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you announced, no, it was HH.
I'm acting astonished.
All right. And what? Me?
Me?
At which point, Iphigenia is going to pull out her, pull the concealed blade out of her parasol and engage you. So, yes, this is... You've got plenty of duelist. So... She is attempting to redeem Lady Satrojus's honor on upon the dastardly ruffian's flesh. So let's see how she does. This is serious duelist, and she has +1 serious because she's like, no, you can't just murder a member of the gentry. So that is yes, she succeeds.
So there's no step change for detectionisting?
Let me look.
There's no.
No, the reward is that you. Yeah, the reward is that you're the brilliant detective.
Nice.
So, yeah, HH lose a point of duelist.
I go from 5 to 4.
All right. What is the Dowager Duchess doing?
So
her
the
options are
one of the uncles, but is in love with the other uncle. I'm gonna say, or not in love with, or wants to sleep with the other uncle. So he's gonna be like, she's gonna use the tragedy of the death the first and the fact that in detectioning to leverage for erotic advantage. So it'll be like while the other uncle is like snooping, she'll be like, "Let me snoop with you," and like goes into the other room with him. Because today she's not wearing full armor. Today she's wearing a dress made of chrysanthemums sewn together. It was a present from the Chinese ambassador.
God, I could just hear Michael Kors's voice now.
All right. So
He's
yeah,
Runway lately.
I think I found a clue. I have concealed it in my bosom.
in my triple D chrysanthemum clad bosom.
All right. Yeah. Roll that foppish duelist.
Do
I'm
I get
inclined.
plus one?
Technically,
Yeah. Do I get both the fop plus one and the duelist plus one?
Yes, she's a badass granny.
Great.
awesome.
So that's 6,
This
11,
is-
12, 13 plus my D10. Okay.
Just don't roll a 1.
Yeah. And I rolled a 6. So yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah. All right. Gain a point of foppish.
Oh.
He's
Nice.
not taking this seriously. He's not becoming infatuated with her, but no poison vials, huzzah! All right,
And she feels, I'm gonna say we gained because she feels more confident in her own body after doing this. She's like, "I've still got it. I've still got it."
And it's very important.
Yep.
To hit that, hit that scene in the
You had to use the
time
phrase
for
"hit
some
that."
hot dry sex.
Well, this is
all
the
right,
point.
and,
We're about 2 hours in a 3-hour movie.
all right, Brandis, what have you got a character doing?
So Balthazar, I think, is not satisfied with the amount to which the dastardly ruffian has already been punished. He's looking for some way to roll serious, and while calling the guard is a little silly now.
It never called
You
it
can
out.
do it.
Right. I mean, even here, we can't find a situation that the cop can't make worse. All right, so
Roll
this
serious duelist.
is serious plus duelist with advantage because of the enlightened mentor ability.
Oh my god! So you rolled 2d10?
I'm rolling
2d10 and take the best one.
Yep.
Nice.
I need to roll a 2 or better.
On 2d10s. Wow.
First roll is a
So
9.
there is a
Second roll is a 6. So yeah, there we go.
So, yep. Lose another point of duelist there. HH.
Now, if you lose a point of duelist, that increases your aristocrat.
Yes.
Oh, I missed
So
that
that-
part.
All right.
You need to becoming a straight-laced, boring ruler figure.
Oh, seriously. Then I'm up to 7 aristocrat at 3 duelist.
But otherwise, but the outcome is okay. Did everyone get a finale action? Are we
Yes.
ready to close this scene? Okay, because HH gets off at trial, but is humiliated because it's clearly obvious graft. So he loses to aristocrat, but is known as, the guy who obviously murdered Lord Ravenspite, but got away with it. So that's the locked room mystery.
So that winds up negating the change in duelist that he took from that effect twice? Or does he...
Absolutely.
The whooping I have taken.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sliced up by 2 people and then went to court and was humiliated and wound up He learned nothing and didn't change.
Yeah.
But
Check,
it's like people were talking about the erotic dress that the Dowager Duchess de Fenestra was wearing. So.
Right, that's the only story that
Oh
makes
yeah,
it into the papers.
The murder was
Just-
horrible, but her dress.
Also, just to check,
Dress.
Greg, he doesn't take
Mhm.
-4 aristocrat because the redeem Lady Cetragus' honor action was used twice. Just checking.
I don't know. It's what do you guys think? You could make a case for either one. That, he only goes to trial once, would only lose two then. Or do we want to have two people humiliated him. He loses 4 whole points off of aristocrat and becomes an even more ferocious duelist. What do you guys think?
I will abstain.
I'm okay with him winding up exactly the same as he started, just because I think that's the more hilarious outcome.
Right, I think that's fine. I think that's fine.
funny. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the important thing is I learned.
All right. Rabbit, roll a d12, and let's see what the next scene is. A d12?
I'm not a barbarian.
Do they still even make those?
The world needs barbarians too, Greg.
It's true.
Damn straight. You got a 7? Someone's debut into society.
Aw.
Lord and Lady Gimcrack are ushering their tender daughter Durgivia into the ranks of society by means of a debutante ball. They're pretty loaded, and they set a nice spread, so why not attend and get a look at the new meat in the matrimonial butcher shop? Who knows? Maybe you'll fall in love. So pick a character to go, and then everyone takes turns acting until they've gone twice. Who's going to Madame Well, it would be Mademoiselle Givia's debut ball. Who you sending, Rabbit?
Is it you and somebody, or is it
You
Or
or somebody. So you can send your instructor,
Yeah, I'll send
your
my-
instructor, or you can send. I'm sending chunks because we haven't had
Chunks.
enough chunks. Chunks. Sharon.
I'm gonna send Cyril, the hot-headed student who is hoping to win the affection of Mademoiselle Durgivia.
Brandis.
I think that this would be most fun with Nikorosh, my actual instructor.
All right, and Dave.
The Inamorata I've been practicing silently to myself. Ohio HH noticed the RSVP did not arrive in his name, and there was no +1.
Also, Greg,
Yeah.
what have you done to me? I rarely play straight characters, and now I'm playing 3 straight characters. So, this is what
Maybe
you
you're
have
just
wrought.
exploring
This is what you
something
have
new
wrought.
about yourself. Never doubt my power, Sharon.
6 months, Greg. Is this what homophobia is? This is a hate crime.
Sometimes
Wow, it's been so long since I was accused of a hate crime during a game.
This
Okay.
game's got legs, Greg. This
So,
game's
yeah.
got legs.
Yeah, 3 of them.
All right. So yeah, Rabbit, what's your character doing? The options are fall in love, honeying over the nasty sty, plant scurrilous rumors, just have a ball, punch somebody at the punch bowl, or brandy and
I go for hunting over the nasty sky. Let's try that. That sounds like a good time. Wait, terrible time.
nice.
Greg, is that actually an expression that was used?
It's from Hamlet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, it mentions.
That's what he accuses his mother of doing with his uncle.
If you got the Hamlet reference,
yeah.
good on you.
Wow.
Just
Yeah.
want to fornicate, not picky about who with. Roll foppish plus aristocrat.
Foppish plus aristocrat. 17.
Oh, yeah. Your conquest is young, but old enough to know better. Gain +1 foppish, and someone starts the rumor that you're good. All right. What's Chunks gonna do? Chunks is gonna fall in love. Is he gonna fall in love, or is he gonna pick a fight with Sharing's hot-headed Yeah, I think he's going to start. What was the hot-headed student's name?
Cyril.
Cyril. Yeah, I think he's gonna pick a fight with Cyril.
Yeah. So Cyril
So
is dressed in a scarlet suit, which hides his signature weapon, which is a garrote. But whenever he uses the garrote, he twirls it in the air first, and it forms the shapes of like poetic phrases, and then garrotes you with it. So he's gonna try and fight with that.
Well, yeah, Chunks has an épée, but is carrying a fan, which normally, which is a little unusual for a band, but for the prim maiden's precaution style, you gotta have a fan. And he takes great offense to something he hears Cyril say about Durgivia, and just is like, hey, this is supposed to be a polite...
because he's like, he wants to, he goes there hoping to win the affection of Durgivia, but then he's like, oh my god, like, what is that dress she's wearing? Like, I wouldn't be caught dead in that.
And yeah, Chunks is like, hey, it's her debut. You could be polite, and then just decks him with like this 5-pound steel fan.
Just puts him through a wall.
Let's see. That is 7, 8. Yeah, he gets it. So he's ranting about manners and propriety, just pounding poor Cyril bloody.
Nice. So does
how does Cyril? No.
Okay.
No, nothing actually happens. But the whole Prim Maiden's Precaution School gets a point of duelist.
Nice.
Because everyone is paying attention. They're like, wow, he fucked his shit up with a fan. That's something.
So
maybe I'll send my daughter to learn how to do that. Okay, but then it's Cyril's action, and he could strike back.
I now will defy you, Greg, because Cyril, seeing this act of beaten bloody, falls in love with him. Because they say the best way to know someone is to fight them or whatever. So being beaten to death by this guy, he's like, oh my god, this guy is so cool, and so ends my streak of straight characters.
Well, if you roll successfully.
Oh, if I roll, I might not fall in love with him. Good point.
If you roll successfully, otherwise Brandis gets to decide who you love with.
No, I became even more afraid.
What?
So let's see. It's foppish plus aristocrat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on the D10. So
I'm picturing, it's from Cyril's perspective. The weighted fan is rising and falling in motion, and intensely romantic song.
So yeah, Cyril's like he's like, you can see the fan
rush.
Yeah, the fan hits him in the face, one tooth falls out, and he's like, oh, like in slow motion. And I got a 6. No, that's a 9. I got a 9.
Goodness.
Okay.
So that's a 19. It's a 19. Yeah.
clearly a success. Yes, Cyril is now infatuated with Chunks.
With every
In
blow,
a turn up for
Cyril's
the
like,
books.
"Oh, that blow! I would like a blow." And he just starts. He's like, "Oh,
he's
You just went there.
he's really in good shape.
yeah, absolutely!" Like those punches. He had two awakenings. One, that he's in love with this guy. Two, he's an S&M bottom. Lots of revelations for Cyril.
Wow. Okay, Brandis, top that.
No,
No, bottom that.
Yeah, I didn't even.
thing when Eric von Goethe illustrates it. That's what I know.
Oh, I'm
So-
just picturing Tom of Finland illustrating this. All right, so yeah, what's your guy doing, Brandis?
So, I really need someone to have a punch bowl punch up with.
You could pull
Oh,
Chunks
being
off the
beaten up.
other guy.
Beaten up.
Is there anyone else here who is infatuated with Ohio that Nikorosh can go after for that?
Ohio tried to flirt with Chunks and it failed miserably.
Time to definitely avenge this against Chunks with extreme force. All right. So here comes my foppish plus duelist roll. By the punch bowl. Oh, perhaps with the punch bowl. Who knows? And that is a failure. I rolled a 14.
Oh.
Ooh. The result for that just says kicked in the fork.
Yep. I lose a point of duelist. That's
Yeah.
not what you like to see.
He's like, hey, Ohio, watch me monster this guy. Ooh.
Shouldn't have fought a guy named.
What's
That's a good life lesson right there.
Yeah.
shouldn't have what?
Shouldn't have fought a guy named Chunks.
Who you already saw beat up, another person.
Well, but I actually know how to fight, not like,
Not like Cyril.
not
Yeah.
like Zero.
Yeah, what's Ohio doing?
Yeah, I think it worked. I was thinking Ohio was gonna fall in love anyway, so I think that she's moved by the effort. Just like Chunks, you can't stop Chunks. Chunks does what Chunks wants. It's so we're gonna attempt falling in love, which is foppish plus aristocrat. Excuse me.
So
Which is
the camera.
what's that?
It's like the It's like the camera angle changes and you just see Chunks in slow motion again with the same song playing.
No, like everyone's falling for either Chunks or Ohio. I love this.
They're gonna be such a power couple.
Yeah, we watch Chunks and Ohio get together at the end.
Oh, I can't pick Chunks because I picked Chunks for the midwinter ball, so I'm doing
Oh no, you can still do it.
Oh,
You
I
can
can.
try again.
Oh, well then we'll do it again.
Sure,
Say,
why not?
Oh, Chunks, you're my hero. We got it this time.
He's so violent and simple. All right. So you succeeded, and yeah, again, because if you'd failed, then let's see, Rabbit would have decided who you fell in love. But yeah, okay, if you succeeded at the foppish aristocrat role, Ohio is now in love with Chunks, just like everyone else. All right. Yeah. All right. And so we're back around to Rabbit for her character's second action.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So now that we've gotten the pointless hookup out of the way,
Yeah, you're like, wow, there's a strange rhythmic thudding sound coming from over there, and I'm not making it, and you duck it, and it's just thunk, thunk,
Chunks
thunk.
destroying the competition.
yeah, apparently. Let's see. Let's just have a ball. You know what?
Okay.
Apparently, I'm just going to spend this going, All right, y'all.
Oh wow, that fans.
Accidentally fall for somebody. All right. So this is a foppish aristocrat roll.
With advantage. So roll 2d10 and take the highest.
Ooh, why advantage?
Okay. Let's see. 9 plus 8, so 17.
Advantage is written in the feature description. That's why.
Oh.
You flirt without anyone taking it seriously, eat without gluttony, drink without stumbling, and dance without treading anyone's toes. It's lovely. You don't even get a hangover. So your stats don't change, but yeah, what a fun time.
It's sort of breezing through, having a good
Chunks.
time. I don't know what the fuck's going on with these guys.
What's Chunks gonna do? He's going to do some brandy and harumphing. So he will retire to the smoking lounge with the elders to discuss the issues of the day over brandy. This is not really his métier. So let's see. But, he's got the advantage of Clytemnestra's seriousness. So it is 9 plus 6. He just makes it.
Hey.
So yeah, after pummeling Cyril, he goes and talks about politics, and one of the white-haired elders, "Say, young whip, I cut of your jib." So, oh god, we're even more serious now. I did not. Oops. Well, so it goes. Serious 7. Yeah. But, that's Chunks. He's a serious character. What's Cyril doing?
Cyril has noticed Ohio batting her eyelids at his new true love, his gay S&M awakening, and so Cyril is going to punch up Ohio.
Nice.
I get it.
So he whips out his scarlet garrote and twirls it in the air. And let's see. I think I found a poem. When you are old, I think it was Yeats. When you are old, gray, and full of sleep are the words that appear as he twirls his garrote to try and garrote. What's her name? Ohio. Because unlike his master, he is not in love with Ohio. So that's duelist plus foppish, is it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's 12
I'm just
plus
picturing
1.
you. Keep your clammy hands off him.
That's my Chunks.
He beat me up first. He has tasted my blood.
It's true.
What happened?
And I think I got the only roll I could have failed at. I got a 2. That's 12. That's 14. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. How does Ohio get out of? Are there just like 8 guys leaping to defend her?
I think that has to be right.
Does she just defend herself?
I mean, I think she could, but I do like the idea that, just a line of men who have been trying to talk to her all night are like, see, he's winding up for a sucker punch.
Hey, in that style, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when the Garrett makes poetry, he's planning. All right, so yeah. Oh boy.
Cyril's face looks like his outfit. It's a mask of blood. So he's not in a good fighting shape right now. So he's like,
Right.
Oh no. All right, so Cyril loses another point of duelist.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, loses
the first point of duelist. Yeah.
All right, and Brandis, what do you got going on?
So I think that at this point, some of the harumphing is from, in fact, getting kicked in the fork, and the brandy is to help him forget about getting kicked in the fork. So disappointed though he is that he is stuck in the same room with Chunks, who is drinking some of that brandy that he doesn't deserve. It's practically common, and getting some of this good quality harumphing in. Nikorosh
Who
is
doesn't
going
love a
to.
good harumphing?
Well, I mean, if only there were cigars. I think.
There's cigars.
Okay, well, that's important.
Hmm.
So I'm going to roll serious plus aristocrat.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have to. All right, so that is now 10. I need to roll 5 or better. Oh, come on. That's a 6. Yep, that's a 6.
Okay, so you harumph it up well too, and
Yep.
gain a point of serious.
Gain back that
All
point
right,
of serious.
and lost to the fork, and so we end with Dave with Ohio.
So I don't wish to be
just seeing a cadre.
Yeah, I don't wish to be improper, but I believe it's more brandy and humping as opposed to harumphing.
Well, if you just be kicking the fork, there may not be as much. It depends how much brandy anyway.
So we will attempt honeying over the nasty sty. Do I have to set a target, or is it irrelevant based on the description?
It's irrelevant. It's just whoever.
All right, so Fop plus aristocrat.
Or I suppose, if you wanted to do a default action, you could try and seduce Chunks.
That was the logical continuation, but I don't mind running it as the game intends.
Okay. She's just like, whoever.
Yeah, right.
I don't care about Mr. Right. I care about Mr. Right now.
Oh goodness. Okay, we got another one, so it failed.
It's fine. A lower tier servant who won't stop giggling, but cute ankles. But 5 or 6 days, you're gonna need a very smelly unguent for that rash. -1 foppish.
Oh my goodness.
No.
That's the second time I've hit that one on a D10.
Oh no.
Does that go on Ohio, or does that go on my character?
That the -1 foppish is on your character, and presumably the unguent too. So
I'm imagining the scene.
That is Durgivia's.
I'm imagining the scene in the Grishaverse show where he hooks up with the stable hand, the stable boy person. I was like, lovely, but maybe later you have that rash.
All right, so that is Lady Durgivia. That's Mademoiselle Durgivia's debut into society. So that's got to be exciting for her. So we did our 2 random scenes, and what comes up is the Spring Cotillion. Every teacher is in attendance, as are all surviving beloveds. However, as this dance is hosted by the tyrant of Vindamere, fatal is, let's go with frowned upon. So, yes, we each take an action, one beloved, and the teachers each act, but the teachers must use their one action to either pay court or pitch woo to the person they fell in love with at the ball, assuming they survived. So we start with all the beloved actions. Man, I kind of want to send Iphigenia to this, but Chunks has been on fire. Let's see. What do we want to do? I'm trying to look for something that'll give me +1 foppish.
What page are we on? I found it.
We're on page 11. Oh, yes. Okay. So, oh boy, neither of these characters has really been established as a lady. What? Chunks misreading the situation to a spectacular degree, is going to slap around Cyril under the terrible mistaken assumption that hate it. So yeah, he still has not let go of what?
Under the assumption of what?
That Cyril won't like it.
Oh,
He's-
oh yeah, Cyril is like falling more and more in love with Chunks as this is happening. Yes, he does exactly what I want and what I need.
So yeah, this could really so he is gonna try and just, slap him around and insult him in tyrant's bloody vicious niece. So all right. Foppish plus duelist though. This is not basic 10. Okay, yes, he succeeds. So +2 foppish as the tyrant's own niece laughs in glee at Chunks's cultivated taunting. However, Cyril gains advantage in his next roll against Chunks or Clytemnestra of whatever type.
Yeah, Cyril's
So
like, oh no, I now have
that's
a humiliation fetish as well. Oh,
Oh boy, and yes, it is Cyril's turn.
Cyril is gonna flirt
So what's-
outrageously with Chunks. We're gonna make this romance bloom.
Yay! All right, roll it. I'm rooting for you, and you roll 2d10 and take the highest one.
Yes, foppish and aristocrat. I don't get a bonus because my bonus is duelist, but I roll 2d10, so that's good. And my aristocrat just increased because I got beaten up a lot. So that's a 4 or a 5. So I make it. That's a 16.
Okay, so yeah, how do you flag Chunks' Chunks is obviously not a deeply sensitive, perceptive man. How are you gonna?
Oh, he's gonna be a
I'm picturing
total.
those
He's gonna
dudes at
be.
the airport.
He's a total humiliation fetish submissive, right? So he's just gonna be like, "Yes, sir. Please, master." Like that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm just channeling what my dudes do. So whatever. He just like does that and like grovels at Chunks' feet and licks his boot and like. I mean, I don't wear boots at home. I don't like shoes in the house, so no one has ever licked my boot before. But yeah. So yeah, and he starts like doing all that, worshipping Chunks.
Chunks like, wait a minute. I feel like I don't know what's going on here. All right.
So either from
Brandis.
So wait, do you become infatuated then?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Yes, Chunks is now infatuated with Cyril. He's
Yes!
one step away from being devoted.
Yes, I have an infatuated Dom.
All right. Yeah, Brandis.
All right.
What beloved is?
So I'm starting with Balthazar, who is going to bring a serious
Well,
matter.
you get one action. You get one action with one beloved.
Great.
You don't get both.
I'm using the one I have
But
advantage with.
It's Balthazar.
Balthazar, who has advantage on serious rolls. He's bringing a serious matter to the tyrant's attention. Serious Stephen can do this.
Oh.
And I think that the serious matter he's bringing to the tyrant's attention might be, there's a murderer present, right? You should really do something about that, no matter what the court said.
Oh,
Damn.
we forgot about all that.
That's good. I like this.
I know everyone has
All
forgotten
right,
about
rules.
he's a serious and enlightened mentor. It's his job to not forget this crap.
Right.
It was 15 minutes ago, people.
all of us forgot about the murderer.
There's been more important things going
yeah.
on.
All
He
right, so
did fade Lord Ravenspite, didn't he?
what
What a crazy weekend that was.
Wow. Let's see. I failed that roll.
Hacha! Technicality.
Yikes. All right.
Seeming to ignore you entirely, she turns to her entourage and asks rhetorically, "Is it too much to ask to have one night of frivolity without some asinine fribble trying to impress me as a thinker? -1 aristocrat and -1 serious. Your parents would like a word with you."
Jesus.
Ouch!
I do like that play, though.
And that's how he learned a valuable lesson about trying to have well-connected murders get punished.
The Enlightenment. I'm pretty sure that Nikorosh has not learned a damn thing. Except that his duelist improves so that he can stab him for it, right? Eventually.
Yeah. Oh, this could be rolling right towards some gigantic confrontation. You know, the courts can't stop you, but I can. All right. So Dave, which beloved is acting and what are they doing?
So Comrade Boozebag has come. Good old Scarface themselves.
Scarface.
Rabbit, can I ask which elderly aunt or uncle or whatever made it here?
Left.
Two uncles.
Two uncles.
Lucky be dead, so it's just Sturdivant now.
Studevant. Okay, so I think
book poisoned or bookmark poisoned.
Right. So I think Studevant and good old Scarface were rivals back in the day. So I think it's time to outshine the feeble old uncle here. So I would say it's either arm wrestling or drinking. Do you have a preference?
Drinking.
Drinking. Yeah. So I think that we slam some just very inappropriately start slamming beers back at the bar, at the open bar, and it looks like it is
playing quietly, drinks slowly, meeting your eyes.
Foppish and aristocrat.
And they're like disappearing at the same rate, but in this sort of steady, mechanical kind of way. And let's see how that works.
Yeah, it's just
Bro.
Got another one.
All right, how'd you do, Dave?
The roll 20. The roll 20 dice. I gotta switch to real ones. This is awful. So I failed.
All right, so you lose a point of foppish, and Rabbit describes how either the uncle wittily turns the table on you, or how you self-destruct, possibly due to drink overconfidence, some other vice inherent to your nature.
Yeah. All right, so
how does the uncle just?
You're doing the Thor another. Sturdivant's just sitting there drinking slowly,
steady,
like also working a staring contest into it.
Oh, that's good.
You're starting to sweat. It's a bit like. Yeah. I watch way too much Bollywood movies.
I came out too fast. I had too much to prove.
Yeah. You just keep going and going faster and faster and faster until eventually you plant directly into the table, shattering it into into splinters.
Oh, that's so good.
The uncle is sort of sitting there, lightly tipsy, watching you on the floor.
I'm just picturing Scarface. Tell me the secret name of God, you old bastard! The uncle's like,
when she leans down,
you cannot defeat me in any way that matters.
Decay exists. Oh, it's so good.
All right, and okay, Rabbit. So who have you've only got your surviving uncle. And
Yeah, I only
what
got
is he going to do after putting this impudent young pup in his place?
Oh, what is he going to do?
He's going to Disneyland.
He could he could talk chunks out of this ill-considered tete-a-tete with Cyril, but yeah, no.
Yeah, he could. He could give sensible advice to Cyril.
He could go
Or
after his
sensible advice to John.
dead brother with the grandma.
He could. I'm
Oh, that's
seriously
true.
considering attempting an outrageous flirt with Grandma.
Do it.
See, since she was responsible for the death of other uncle.
And they did flirt with the chrysanthemum dress at the murder, remember?
Oh yeah, that's fair.
She's giving you the sign.
Yeah, there was flirtation there. All right, so let's come back. Let's come back with that.
Yeah.
He's got a line.
So today it's another cotillion. She is wearing this time instead of battle armor, she's wearing really stylish barbarian goth style armor. But with what she imagines it looks like, which is completely false. So she has like animal skins tastefully draped around her and stuff. But of course, if you look closely, all of the animal skins are embroidered with lines of Lord Byron.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let me roll. See how this goes. All right, so this is
Foppish aristocrat.
Foppish aristocrat. So that's going to be 15.
You made it?
Made it? Cool. All right. So
All right.
So
Was
Hmm? So Sturdivant shaped
go ahead.
Grandma and very quietly recites. Let me find it.
Yes, more mercy.
Oh yeah, it says, "There shall come a matron walking sedately, low voice, gentle, wise in reply. Tell me, oh tell me, can I love her greatly? All for her sake must the maiden die."
And she swoons. She gives a huge swoon. Her large bosom heaves as she swoons.
Oh yes.
Was she already halfway infatuated with him?
She wasn't
Had that
game
already
mechanics
happened,
wise, but
or-
flavor wise, she was
Okay.
into him. Yeah.
Okay, well now her idle erotic curiosity blossomed into infatuation. So
Yeah.
write down
Grandmummy!
that she is now in what?
Grandmummy!
Don't bother me. Grandmama's got her thing doing. All right. Okay, so that's everyone's beloveds. Oh boy. So now it is the instructors have two options. So you can pay court, which is where you basically are like, let's enter into a full courtship leading to marriage. These are my dowager aunts who will oversee this proposal. And so you have to, this is like a union of bloodlines. Or alternately, you can pitch woo, which is just like, let's go behind the court or behind the boathouse and get it on. And so, yeah, I have to decide which of these Clytemnestra is going to address to Foxglove.
Foxglove? Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, that's who caught her eye at the cotillion, and all these months she has been like working up her courage I think she's got to pay court. I don't think she's the leader of the Prim Maiden's Precaution School. She can't just go after him rampy style. So she is gonna make this serious aristocrat proposal. Oh God, she's only got a 9 in that. She is not equipped to do this, but she's doing it, and she rolled a 9.
Wow.
So
Nice.
but it is up to you
Yeah.
to decide whether to accept or reject, because it's the instructor. If it was just one of the beloveds, like
They would automatically. Yeah.
but if you accept, we both get +1 aristocrat and become engaged. If you shoot her down, then she falls out of love with you, but it doesn't change her stats. The actual text is, if they shoot you down despite the correctness of your proposal, you are no longer in love with, in fact, humiliated, disgraced, and weepy. But it doesn't affect your stats. That's
What is
something.
What
It's
is your
something,
school
isn't it,
called,
buddy?
Greg? What is Clytemnestra's school called?
The Prim Maiden's Precaution.
And I'm gonna say, not Cyril. That
Foxglove.
Foxglove, Belladonna Basil, is like, you know what? Who is straight? Ugh. But he's like, you know what? This will be a useful union if we have a symbolic synecdoche of precautionary primness. This will totally be a powerhouse. So he is going to accept. He is going to accept.
Yes.
And plus, he's really annoyed at Ohio from last time. So he's like, "I'm gonna show Ohio what she missed out on by taking this cool proposal." So he wants to make Ohio jealous. So yeah, he's gonna accept.
He's going to become her fiance in order to make another woman jealous.
Yeah.
This can't end badly when everyone is armed all the time. All right. Yay. We both get +1 aristocrat. So I now
Okay.
have 5s across the board and everything.
Wow.
And all right, so Sharing, what does Foxglove, who's
Okay.
in love with Ohio,
But
who
in
has just accepted a proposal?
Okay, is there any way I can I can try and cultivate the relationship? Like, can he do something to cultivate Cyril and what's his name? Blockhead? Chiphead? Blockchip?
Chunks.
Chunks. Can he
Learn his
cultivate their
name,
relationship more?
At this point he is zeroed in on the main romance. So
Okay,
he could wow, you could try and break your engagement the same night you made it. Or you could just, try and bang Ohio.
Well, I mean, since I want to make Ohio jealous, could I bang Clytemnestra? Like, look, I just now we're gonna bang everyone.
Okay, sure. Try your let's see. This is the option for smutty bodice ripping and panting declarations of ash, and roll it. Foppish aristocrat.
Go.
To suck the sweet
Well, good, I
juice
just
of long forbidden fruit.
Yeah, I just increased my aristocrat, so I have a 12 base.
Nice.
So let's see if I get the. And I rolled a 5.
Nice.
So that's a win. So that means
All right.
yes,
But
that's
hold
the
on.
sweet juice of Clonk's forbidden fruit.
But
Oh,
if you're trying to seduce a sword saint of Vindamere who has their own school and whatnot, it's more complicated. They can acquiesce, in which case we each get more foppish. Or in this case, it would be Clytemnestra saying, no, marriage. In which case you would get +1 duelist. as you apply your thwarted energies to fencing. But no, I think she's going to go for it. She's like, primness is good, but it's not always good. Yeah, let's go behind the curtain over there. So we each get +1 foppish.
Oh wow, my foppish is 7 now. Ooh.
And the wedding has been pre-consummated.
As tradition.
So yes, Clytemnestra has become much, much less uptight since the beginning of the game. She started at Sirius 6, but she's now Sirius 4. Her
Nice.
hats must be getting fancier and fancier.
Nice.
All right, Brandis, what is your instructor doing?
Well, all those plus aristocrat rolls are not awesome for me, but I will pay court to my darling Ohioa and convince her to marry me.
Well, I mean, you're like, why don't you leave that guy? He a murderer. You know he's a murderer.
We're gonna learn
He's like
something if that doesn't work.
She's gonna be like, no, it's right there in his bio, not a murderer.
I don't know why everyone keeps saying that about him.
So in good news for the honor of the Inamorata, I have rolled a 10, making a 19.
Nicely done.
Wow. All right. So was she neutral to you before, or had you gotten a piece?
I'm not actually. You never told me a rule where I gained any of her affection. Just that.
Okay.
I had stabbed someone over it. So I think
Okay, yeah.
the first degree.
Okay, you get that first little heart filled in, and Ohio was, wow. HH has been fun, but maybe I could marry this serious guy and be able to sleep at night without worrying about waking a pillow pressed over me. So, okay, wow. All right. Dave, what's HH doing?
HH lost the person that he was interested in, and that was the luscious Levidius, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I think
no.
I think he's just going to have to pitch woo to his closest living relative, which is either the other uncle or the what is the name of your school, Rabbit?
Oh, but anything goes.
Anything goes. Do you have a preference of either the uncle or your primary?
What was that?
Do you have a preference between the uncle or your main character? I don't remember your character's name. I apologize.
Quentin Fulbor Bernebrand. So this is HH because Quentin's in love with HH.
Oh, perfect. Well, HH is looking to make some moves. So the Flashing River School. Well, then why don't we do it right? Why don't we pay court?
Oh snap!
Wow!
Look at that.
Thanks. The actual guy I love died while making with his nephew.
Yeah, his nephew. Second best. Better than the rest.
Look somewhat alike, I guess.
Okay, so we'll pay court, and we are rolling.
Will you marry me and be my accomplice? I mean, spouse.
They can't try a husband and a husband of the same crime. Serious plus aristocrat. They're all fives.
Murder castle case.
What's that?
It's like plea your murder castle case. Here.
We got it. We got it. We got the 16. We got a 6. So 16 total. So it's your call if I remember the rules correctly.
Yes.
What? Yeah.
So yeah, it's up to you to whether you're like, okay, yes, please, thank you. I'm into it.
We absolutely gotta be bringing the boy marriage.
In the
Of the-
union of our schools.
I am, yeah,
All right.
100, officially engaged. That.
Nice.
All right, plus one
Sure.
aristocrat to both of
Drawn
you.
by promises of murder castles and narrow acquittals.
It's a lot of fun. We get ice cream every night for dinner.
Acceptable level.
I just picture him gently resting his fingertips on your. They were all bad. Lord Ravenspite was a monster.
Yeah.
The courts would never convict him. Look at how they treated me. They're clearly just an empty suit.
It's true.
Trust me, I know that the court system here is fatally broken. All right, so wrapping up with Rabbit, are you just gonna, do the traditional pitch woo to him?
I think actually after some, flashy and romantic dancing and, swooning and so forth, and there is the one thing we have to keep in mind, though, is that, some level of openness and such. I think that we're going to pitch woo. I think I'm going to pitch woo to somebody else's beloved.
Well, that's smart. The goal.
Probably.
Okay.
He's managed to escape unscathed mostly. He probably comforting after having been humiliated by the tyrant.
Accurate.
So let's try it.
That checks out.
Now let's try some of this. We'll do foppish plus aristocrat to seek a sweaty clinch with your Balthazar. Oh, that probably did not go well, actually. It's gonna be 13, so I'm betting no.
The problem with enlightenment is, after all, that it breeds cluelessness.
Or he's just like, I have forsworn the pleasures of the flesh.
I think he is unaware he is being flirted with.
Wow.
It's like, wow. Wow.
Oh.
Some of the smartest people I know
Could have been so beautiful.
All fucking dumb.
Yeah, truly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a point of serious,
You're
which
not
is
wrong.
actually fine.
Yeah.
It was interesting in getting my foppish off of.
Right. You're going fop in the corner.
All right. So, Sharang, you're up. Roll a d12. Tell me what you get.
Oh, the new scene.
It's a new scene. We've all made our move. There are engagements going on here.
I got
Mark
it.
down.
Oh.
Engaged. The harrowing of gambling hell.
Okay.
All right. Don't worry. They only call it gambling hell because it's underground and it's smoke filled and usually very hot and crowded, and people cry out in agony with some frequency. Plus, it is filled with people who wish you misfortune. But the similarities to actual hell and there. Wait, one more. It's chock full of sinners. Everybody picks one character to go to this reputable, squalid congress of dice obsessives with wildly divergent opinions about hygiene for fun. And everyone rolls 2 actions. So who are you sending to the gambling house?
I'm up sending the Wicked Pipistrella, obviously.
Oh yeah. This sounds like Pippa's jam.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sharang, who you sending?
I really want to seduce Chumby.
Chunks.
Chunks.
You don't know if Chunks is gonna be there.
Well, you know what? Hot-headed Cyril is like, I think Chunks is gonna be there, and so he's gonna go. He's gonna ask what's my character's name? Belladonna Basil. Yeah, he's gonna ask Belladonna Basil, can I go to the gambling thing? And Fox is like, oh my god, maybe it'll cool your hot-headedness and the fact that you've been losing at all the duels for some reason recently, and I know you're doing it on purpose because you want to get stabbed a lot, it seems. Sure, go, gamble.
Dave, who are you sending?
HH.
HH. I just want to gamble. Matter. Rabbit, who's going?
Let's see. I think Diamond is going.
Iphigenia's going. You know, she's only in there to ask directions for the fastest way out of there, kind of thing. You can pick a fight by accusing someone of cheating. You can play some cards. You can shoot some dice. You can brag. You can wager on a cockfight. Or you can retrieve a wayward youth. All right, what is Cyril doing when he sees that Chunks isn't present?
He's really upset, but he is still horny for fighting, right? So he's gonna be like, well, if I can't fight with my cock, I will watch those cocks fight.
All right.
And
all right.
He's kind of resigned, and he's like, ugh, fine, I'll spend some of my master's money on this cockfight.
Roll foppish duelist to spy the finer chicken warrior.
Yeah. Oh, and he's wearing like a very leather strappy outfit. He was trying to seduce Chunks, but Chunks isn't there. Okay, so foppish is duelist. Let's see. My scores have all changed. Oh wow. Oh, this is really high because I got a +1 and my foppish is high. Okay, so that's 7 + 4 is 11, +1, 12. Okay, so my base is 12.
Dun dun dun.
And I rolled a 7.
Treacherous 1.
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
Okay, winner, chicken dinner. Gain +1 foppish. You've
Nice.
become even more foppish. You're approaching the fop singularity.
I handed all this money, and he's still like sighing. He's like, "Oh, what is money when Chunks isn't there to see the cock win?"
So yeah, Brandis, what is the diabolical Pippa doing?
She is going to spot someone cheating and accuse them appropriately of their misdeeds. That she is has a jug of something or other very toxic in her other hand, and it is sloshing, and she might not be correct. Well, that's what the dice are for. 11, she has +1 duelist, that's 12. Who are the other instructors present, if any?
I'm there.
Hmm?
Well,
Okay,
we'll continue
HH
our
is there.
vendetta against HH. Sorry, buddy. I will fail with a 1.
Oh, the ones are killer.
Oh no!
Unbelievable.
Yeah, how does HH deal with being accused? Was he actually cheating?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so how does he deal with accurately being accused of cheating?
I think, you know, whether it's dice or cards or whatever it is, he keeps, you know, his fake set on him, but he also keeps a real set around too. The right hand is for the good ones and the left hand is for the cheaters, right? So he just kind of very quietly, as he's letting, you know, this rival of his sort of make a big scene, he's very subtly shifts whatever it was he was holding and says, look, no, and just kind of lets you bluster and you know, then look kind of foolish. But you know you were
Maybe
right.
suggests that
The wicked Pippa
maybe suggests that she cut back.
Mad. So bad.
All right, but she loses a point of duelist because now she's got HH's empty, dead eyes living in her mind. All right, and what's HH doing?
Ironically, I was going to play some cards, so
Okay.
we will be doing Fop plus Aristocrat, which is a +12. We got just enough. We rolled the 3, so we hit the 15.
Describe whether you won by skill, luck, or underhanded rule breaking.
Oh, underhanded rule breaking.
Which it's good.
You know, taking whatever cards for that other people have folded at some point, and making it look like I have moved them back into the deck, though they have been sitting waiting for me to use at the right time.
Yeah, someone, clearly is thinking about accusing you again of cheating, and then they kind of glance at your sword, and it's like you can hear them thinking about Raven's bite and throw their cards down and snort.
Right.
All right, so you've got the instructor there, right, Rabbit? Or what?
Yeah, Uncle Sturdivant.
That's
Uncle
the book.
Sturdivant. What's Uncle Sturdivant doing?
I go up to Cyril and give him a lecture on the foibles of wayward and mopey youth, and get him to stop being such a fun-loving ass and go back to your school to be disciplined or something. I don't know. Oh, that's a one.
Oh, the ones. They're
All right.
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone, all the cockfighting aficionados are peanut shell at him and hooting.
Yeah, but
So,
Cyril for the win. Even though Cyril's clearly not paying attention at all, the others are like, stop harassing our winner.
It loses
so yeah,
one.
-1 serious.
Wow.
Man,
Wow.
what's Iphigenia? I was gonna have Iphigenia. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, yeah, my Sirius is now at 3.
Wow, that's a deeply frivolous school you got going there.
Hmm.
Well, it wasn't wrong.
Iphigenia is anything goes. Iphigenia is going to attempt to retrieve the wayward youth HH.
Truly.
Let's see. So this is serious plus aristocrats, and she's +1 serious and +1 aristocrat.
Oof.
That's so +11. Oh, she just barely makes it.
Oof.
Even the extremely, extremely serious Iphigenia can barely penetrate this, but yeah. She just, comes up to you and says, I see that you're cheating. Everyone knows you're cheating. And because you murdered that man, they're afraid to tell you how bad you are. Is this how you wanted to live your life? Is this how you dreamed of being when you were growing up? And then she just turns and leaves, and HH is like, well, but that... So yeah, disadvantage on your next action.
Disadvantage.
Because Iphigenia got in your head.
That is true.
And we're back around. So second set of actions, what's Cyril doing?
Okay, so he just cock fought. He just didn't get told off. He wouldn't brag. He's too dejected to brag. I think he just plays some cards. He's just like, and he's like, I have all this money. What do I do with it if I can't get bruised? And he's like, I'm just gonna play some cards. Okay, and it is foppish and aristocrat. I don't think he has either of those. But my foppish is like 8 or something. Yeah, it is. Oof.
Dang.
Oh yeah, I have a 14 base.
That's wild.
He's so foppish.
It's his journey into being a S&M sub.
Well, and you know what happens when your foppish hits 10?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dorian Gray. Yeah, absolutely.
Into dissolution.
Yeah. Well, I got a 4, so success.
Nice.
+1 foppish. You're winning at cards too.
Oh my god.
And is it just that thing where the person who cares least always wins at cards?
Yeah, it's dumb luck. He's just like, oh, did I get 4 aces? Is that good? It doesn't hurt, so what does it even matter?
Jesus.
All I have is a pair of 1s and another pair of 1s.
Yeah. He's just like, anything that doesn't cause me physical pain at the hands of Blockus is pointless now.
Blockus.
Block.
All right. Yeah. What's Pippa up to? after after getting frosted out by HH. I mean, you could do it again, or you could try something else.
Yeah, I think that she does not give up. She is just too mad at this point. She's got to try again and prove it.
To be fair, that's totally what she would do.
Yeah, she's now rolling with a 10 against 15. Popish duelist. Oh, when she has +1 duelist because she's Comrade Boozebag, so 11 against 15.
Nice.
Come on. Cock die. Okay, that's the 4 I needed to successfully chastise the dastardly HH.
I have been called
Great.
out.
So yeah, this time, what is it? This time he, walks away, but doesn't quite as cool about walking away. And maybe he just doesn't want that woman to stab him. Whatever it is, yeah, he's. You've regained your point.
And I mean, I think her castigation just goes completely beyond the pale, but his armor having already been scratched by the attempt to retrieve a wayward youth, I think that's how it sort of gets through.
I like it.
He's like, man, between the extremely obviously good prim woman telling me I'm a piece of shit and this drunken monster telling me I'm a piece of shit, I feel like there's some common thread at play here, but I can't quite piece together what it is. All right, so yeah, what's HH doing?
No, clearly it is the children who are wrong. Well, I think we will wager on the cockfight, right? We've had to leave the gambling, the dice, and the cards. Certainly, I was the only one cheating.
He's done the whole trifecta.
Right. So we will go foppish plus duelist, so that's a +9. And we do not make it. We have failed.
Oh, and did you take disadvantage on that roll?
I did not. Do I roll twice and take the lower?
Yeah, well, since it failed anyway, but yeah, because of Iphigenia's incredible scolding.
The second
You
one,
wayward youth!
the second one was better, but so it is a fail though with a 12 total. So I have backed the wrong chicken dinner.
Justice is
So
done.
now you've got disadvantage on your next roll as you brood about the injustice of ref's bad calls and also probably a little bit of Iphigenia, who has been. Yeah, she's going to have an uncharacter. Oh wait, no, it's not my turn. It's Rabbit's turn.
Let's see. I'm probably gonna play some cards.
Hi.
Why not?
Fortune favors the cheat.
I need somebody else with steady dead eyes playing cards.
Usually it's the dealer, but
That is foppish aristocrat. So okay. 16.
Did you win by skill, luck, or by cheating?
Probably by bluffing the hell out of everybody. By virtue of having a complete, yet another completely dead-eyed stare, and being unable to read, and so bluffing like a mofo.
Poker face.
Who cares if cards are any good if people are folding like cheap paper towels or like Cyril over there in the corner.
Can't read her. Oh, you can read her. Poker face.
And
Yeah.
Iphigenia is going to uncharacteristically decide to have a moment of, he's going to have a moment of weakness and shoot some dice.
Do it.
And wins.
Hey.
So she gets advantage. So we get advantage on our next foppish roll. And she's like, ooh, I can see why everyone's so into this, moral corruption and stuff. It's kind of fun. Ooh. I'm going to go buy more ribbons. So that is the gambling hell scene. Wraps up with everyone kind of won. HH cheated and won.
Yeah, that's true. I did once.
Cyril was miserable and won.
Twice.
Iphigenia was lucky and won. It was everyone, but Pippa didn't even try to win any money. She was just trying to be self-righteous and smug, and kind of got half and half. We'll start with Brandis. Who is competing? Is it going to be a teacher or a student?
What is this? The championship?
This is the championship for the Baron's Claymore.
The big one. All of Vindamere has turned out to the Civic Gutball pitch.
The winners claim Ye Baron's Claymore and exercise smug bragging rights for a year. The losers scowl, dress. The food truck vendors sell questionable seafood and frown over the heavy scent of sour cheese, while gangs of inebriated civils cheer hits regardless of which side scored, their faces ruddy with camaraderie blood ale. I was on when I wrote that, right? That's a pretty good line.
I love it.
Really can't help but use Balthazar because he has serious advantage, and I think fighting to win is what the whole school is about here.
Okay, so he's come out of retirement. The Sword Saint is down from the mountain. All right.
Yeah.
Dave, who's your school sending?
I think that HH is sulking, he's brooding, he's very unhappy with things, so he's put all of his hope into Scarf Ace.
Okay, Rabbit, who you sending?
Probably my teacher. Actually, I do not think that Sturdivant Shapely is the dual type. More of a mentor, so he's taught me everything that he knows, and it is up to me now.
Don't forget, youngster. Anything go.
Being
Chunks.
very Papa Satome about it all.
It's Chunks. It was always going to be
It
Chunks.
was always Chunks.
And okay, Sharang, you gonna send 5?
So if I send Grandmummy, can I not flirt with Chunks and Cyril?
It's kind of gotta focus on whichever
Because
character you
it says when the first match is settled, it's time to kill some time. Each player gets one action with any of their beloveds.
Cool.
Okay.
It looks like they're all there.
All right, sure.
Great. So I'm gonna send Grandmummy to do the dueling, and Cyril is there to do some seducing. So yeah.
Okay. So it starts with the initial match for Brandis's character. You can be a good sport and have fun, throw the match, or fight to win.
Oh, fight to win, 100%.
And is Balthazar in love with anybody?
Certainly nothing established.
Okay. Is anyone in love with Balthazar?
I don't think so.
Nothing's been established.
We don't want to be rude, but...
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Let's just pick a random roll. You want to roll a d6?
I roll a 1.
Okay, so it's Balthazar versus AH then.
Wow.
Well, we saw that coming.
My team's utter dedication to wrecking HH started early and has continued throughout.
That's funny.
All right, so I'm rolling serious plus duelist with advantage because...
Oh, and he's
because you rolls with advantage. So with advantage, that is a 17.
Damn.
All right. So HH. Okay, I'm just picturing this as, they're making these passes and Balthazar is just blocking everything and then up, and he's like, "The courts aren't here to save you. There's only me." And like gives him this huge gouge in the forehead, and the judges are like, "Point Balthazar."
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
There is no justice.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so that's HH loses his first match to Balthazar, but also so who
And
does is HH in love with anybody? He's in love with the dead guy. So
yeah.
his heart is empty and bleak as
But he's
an
engaged
Arctic
to-
steppe.
He's engaged to Quentin, though.
Yeah, he is engaged, but I think that's only the first step, right? Or does that count?
Yeah, I think they're infatuated with each other, but they're not actually in. Well, actually, no. Quentin would be at devoted at this point, and I think HH is just infatuated.
That's how HH likes to run it.
It doesn't work that way with instructors. Instructors always have self-control. It's only the beloveds at the mercy of their passions. But
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like you two are fighting. HH, how are you going to fight this?
Well, we will be a goody sporty. I'm kidding. We'll be a good sport. It is so
All right,
ever so slightly better. However,
Another fun old Middle English fact is the extra E's were there just to make the type sit properly.
That's so funny.
They weren't actually there for spelling because at that time people just made up spellings.
Sure, that makes sense.
Also, I mean, E's are often silent at the end of the word.
And you've got disadvantage lingering
I do.
From that hard night again. All right.
I also omit 2 duelist.
Take your foppish duelist.
Yeah, so there's
everyone wants to see you fail.
So the first roll I did roll a 9, so that's enough. So the second roll with the disadvantage is a 3. I failed.
Oh.
What is my
your
mind punishment?
You're out of the competition. You can still hang about cheering on your school and intriguing, though.
Oh.
Wow.
HH washes
You're
out.
Taken out by your. Dang. All right.
Isolation smooch, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's good.
You should have kept your guard up, honey. All right. So okay. So we move on to. I still can't remember your character's name. So sorry. Quentin. So all right.
Quentin. Yeah.
Quentin just knocked out the guy he's in love with, but the guy don't walk into a slash. That's the first lesson on day 1. So who else might they fight?
All right. So Quentin is also going to be good sport. And
all right. Well, who's Quentin fighting? Should we roll randomly? It's Chunks.
Of course. It was always Chunks.
Chunks.
Okay. All right.
Raucous.
You're doing foppish duelist? Oh, how are you fighting? Are you trying to straight up brutalize, boom out Chunks, or are you, staying within the rules?
Doing the good sport thing, mostly because my foppish is at 8 right now, so let's see what we do.
I say, Mr. Chunks. Have at thee.
Yeah. I mean, probably like that one scene in Rob Roy, but not gross. All right. Well, I rolled a 9, so that'd be plus 13. So, that's
Yeah.
22.
have +1 duelist and the medieval equivalent of a gator. It's rum.
Yeah. So,
All right.
like
So this-
Chunks got dismantled.
Well, he's gonna fight his way back from the losers.
Oh yeah, 'cause Chunks has
So, yeah. So who's Chunks? Oh, Chunks has to fight Cyril.
Oh, Cyril,
Because-
not the grandmummy. I said grandmummy, right?
But Cyril's still there because
Yeah.
drama
Yeah.
demands that Chunks fight him.
Perfect. Oh, Cyril, yes, hurt me, Chunks.
Well, he does have advantage on his foppish roll, so... And gets a 10 with the first one, so it's like, hurt me, Chunks. Okay. Bam.
No subtlety.
That's... Everyone's like, wow, we really expected that to go a little longer. So yeah, that's Chunks and Cyril. They've got a thing.
So since
all right, so that was everyone's
eliminated, right?
It's unclear. It probably won't matter. But you've got to roll for the Duchess.
Yeah,
And
so
who's she in love with?
Triple
Is she
D
in love
is
with anyone?
wearing golden armor just for the occasion, and it's special because it's inscribed by with the Daffodils poem by Wordsworth, so that she can like scintillate and distract her opponent with the golden daffodils, like literally the golden daffodils from the poem. But given that, she tends to be a good sport because she's like, I'm old, I'm a good sport. So who is she fighting?
Is she in love with anyone?
Ohio.
Is Ohio in the competition?
Well, I think you have everybody be there, right?
Yeah. So she's
Technically.
she's probably not considered a serious contender.
Sure.
So it's it's just one of these like, oh hey, that's who you got in the luck of the draw, and everyone's like, wow, let's watch this. It's probably going to be a very popular match. Everyone's like, oh yeah, check out that cool armor and Ohio.
And also
Remember,
Ohio.
my foppish is 9, so she has really cool armor.
This is not going to end well.
Okay, so
I'm picturing HH coaching Ohio, and he's like, okay, she's going to shimmy at you. Don't let it throw you.
So
it's the only move she's got left.
Foppish plus duelist, which is 9 plus 4, which is 15. So let's see if I get a 1.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. And I rolled a 4, so not a 1.
Get knocked out left and right.
She yells out, wait, let me see. She yells out, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffa, and as she says dills, she like swings and wallops Ohio in the face, and then she goes, dills! Which in Hindi means hearts. So.
Oh. Poor Ohio. She deserved better.
Yeah, Flashing River School not having a good night.
Well.
Oh, so I get something.
Okay.
So I move on and
duelist.
a duelist. Great.
All right. So now we each do a time-killing action.
Oh my god! I know
instructor or any of the beloveds starting. Oh, we all know exactly what you're gonna do. But okay, Brandis, what character is doing something?
Yeah. I think that since they're still in it to win it, preparing themselves is where we are.
Ooh.
Okay.
All
right.
You joylessly stretch Fleck.
Yeah. Well, and maybe there's some, showing off for Ohio, but that's not what's important here. What's important is the victory.
Oh, hi.
So I rolled a 7, added to a 6 plus 7, so that's a 20.
Oof.
Damn.
Right.
Yep.
Advantage
Seriously.
in your next
Yeah.
duel. Wow.
Icy mental.
All right.
Yep. I mean,
Okay.
every comedy game needs a straight man, right?
HH.
Oh, HH. I can't prepare somebody else, can I?
You can play
No.
mind games.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you could have Ohio up. You could have Ohio up. No, she just lost once.
Okay. Well, in that
So she's still in the loser bracket with.
Sure. I think then, because Ohio is in, I actually think she'll do mind games against the granny who beat her. So I think that she kind of slides over and basically says, you might win. You might take the Claymore this year, and then next year you'll probably be in the ground. And I'll have it every other year, forever. And we'll roll Foppish plus Duelist, which is an 8. But we got it. We rolled exactly what we needed, a 7.
Right. So the granny has disadvantage.
The granny's unnerved. She's like, because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me, which is anachronistic, but whatever.
That's a good response, though.
This is my high school
All right.
literature all being used right now.
Your professor would be very
I'm
proud.
just waiting for the Gerard. I'm waiting for the Gerard Manley Hopkins to come out. All right, Rabbit, you've got your what action is your character or beloved taking?
Let's see. Oh, we're in the downtime. Let's see.
Yes.
Start event is going to make a last a last overture at Granny. Having won her match and all, and yeah, let's do the thing. All right. So this is Foppish and Aristocrat. Okay, so 6. Actually, -1 overall to the roll. Fine. So 18.
All right. And so the Dutch had the Duchess been
the Duchess was infatuated
swayed before.
Yeah, the Duchess had
All right.
one level of
Mm-hmm.
So the Duchess escalates to devoted.
Damn.
Yep.
All right. The Duchess is now goes over to Rabbit's character sheet.
Nice.
The Duchess is Rabbit's character now.
Granny.
Grandma's busy, honey. Grandma's got a thing. Wow.
And I will not even share the poetry that Sturdivant whispers into her ear to lead her over to my character sheet.
Lol.
That's good.
But
all right.
now she fights for the Anything Goes school. We will issue her frying pan and transmogrification.
There's a great Isabel Rossellini animal sex thing that she did those videos about animals having sex. She's like, anything goes. What am I, a dolphin? It's a great line. It's a great line. Isabel is amazing. And she's like, what am I, a dolphin?
Video series is indeed
Green
amazing.
porno, right? Green porno, yeah.
Green porno, that's the one. Okay. Chunks is gonna brag. He's rolling foppish duelist, so it's plus 12. Oh, it's plus 13. And he's gonna say, I'm gonna win the whole thing. I took a bad knock, but now my mind is focused and clear. He's standing on the bleachers declaring this everyone who will listen with a jug of peppermint wine that he's taking swigs from to stay hydrated.
It sounds like he's talking.
And he gets it. It sounds like what?
He's talking to a sports reporter. He's telling them he's going to bring 110%, leave it all out on the field.
Yep.
Yep. Medieval.
And he is now at foppish 7. He's gonna get a new hat after all this is over. So the drift from the initial Sirius 6 is now down to Sirius 3. The prim Maiden's Precaution School is looking a little less prim moment by moment. But yeah, he's declared he's going to win it all, and if he succeeds at actually winning it all, foppish 8. Woo! All right, and Sharing, what you had some kind of intention?
Yep. So as he's bragging, Cyril is like throwing himself at him, be like, "Please take me!" and starts licking his boots. So that is intense.
This again.
Intense flirting. So that's foppish and aristocrat. So my base is 9 plus 5. So let me roll and see if I get a 1 or not.
I'm filling in that second heart already.
And I rolled a 3. So, oh no, I get disadvantage, right? So I roll again.
Oh.
And I rolled a 4. So, yep.
Despite his flaws, yeah, Chunks is like, you and me should form our own school.
And Cyril's like, anything as long as you hit me more.
Well, it's training.
And he pulls him, but like Cyril's now going to start calling him Sir Blockus.
Definitely traded.
All right, and so Chunks goes over to your character.
So Chunks is going to have to learn some poetry, bitches. Chunks is going to have to learn some poetry to be part of the school. So
it's a good thing you don't need punctuation for poetry.
There you go.
Yeah, all his poems are about a man from Nantucket.
What's Chunks' bonus?
I said, -1 aristocrat and +1 duelist.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so now we enter endgame. All right. So let's see. Are there obvious brackets? Who's left in? Yeah, I got no one because Chunks is now Sharing's character. So Sharing has Chunks and
Cyril.
The Duchess.
The Duchess has moved to another. Yeah.
So, but I have Quentin and the Duchess.
Yeah. So I have Chunks and Cyril.
Okay, I don't think Cyril's in the finals.
So Chunks is, yeah. So I can yeah.
Yes, it's Chunks. I got no one. Rabbit has 2 competitors. Did Ohio sneak in like at the end?
She lost 1 match, so I think it would only be Scarface unless we prefer Ohio being there.
No, Scarface is still in. Because Ohio was never your primary.
Yeah. So just Scarface.
Brandis, you've got what was
Yep.
the master's name?
Balthazar is in.
Balthazar.
Is my main dude in?
The Duchess is
Not the Duchess. The
no, you're
Belladonna Foxglove.
no. You had to pick a student and you picked
Okay,
the
good.
Duchess.
Great.
The Duchess. And all right, so we could just set this up with 2 quick brackets. If you wanted to, Rabbit, did you want to pick one of your characters to be in the final brackets?
Let's see. Is it going to be me or the? I think it is most fair if it is me instead of the Duchess.
All right.
Quentin would go forward repping the school. While
All right. So Quentin, Balthazar, Chunks, and Scarface. Who fights whom? Quentin and Balthazar, Chunks and Scarface.
I'm down with that.
show.
All right.
Sturdivant and
Okay.
and the Duchess are too busy having their uncle auntie plot. Dating. All right.
All right. So I'm gonna. All right. How is Quentin gonna fight? Elegantly or with brute intensity?
Elegant. I'm fighting elegant.
Okay. Balthazar.
Brute intensity.
How's Balthazar doing?
Of course you are.
Okay. All right. So.
Contested.
All right.
Yep.
And this one is a little different.
Oh.
So you roll duelist. Brandis rolls serious duelist.
Okay.
Oh, and you've got advantage, right, Brandis?
Yep.
Because you were joylessly
Okay.
taking the fantasy equivalent of steroids over the
Yes.
break.
I have a 22.
All right. I'll give you.
Good God.
That's insane.
Yeah, 13 plus 9,
That's
guys.
20.
Nice.
Wow.
It's 8 plus 6 plus 9.
Wow. So I
What'd
do
you
want to
get?
get this out. So I lost. I want to get this out as what Balthazar says before losing.
Mhm.
And this is mostly for Sharling's benefit. This is just to say, I have taken the swords that were on the platform, and which you were probably saving in case a miracle happened and you won something. Forgive me, they were delightful, so sharp and so cold. But I wind up losing
All right.
in my.
So
It's like, oh, well, you mean these swords?
Yeah.
That was
so
amazing.
Quentin wins. All right. So Quentin wins, and now it's Chunks versus Scarface. All right. So how's Chunks fighting? Oh, did we lose? I can't hear anything.
Chunks. I forgot that I control Chunks now.
Yeah, you stole
Yeah.
Chunks.
Someone else. Yeah. So Chunks is like, he joins my side, and then Cyril's like, Chunks, go fight for us, beat someone else up, so you can show me how you will do it to me tonight. And Chunks is like, okay. And Cyril maybe even like whispers some poetry to him because he has to recite it while fighting, right? Or it's not part of our school.
Right.
So he's gonna be like, I guess I'll try and fight elegantly because I'm in the school now. So yeah.
All right. So
That's
elegantly,
foppish
all
and
right.
duelist,
Roll
right?
foppish plus duelist.
Okay, so he gets
and
one
how's
to
Scarface
duelist.
fighting?
The same. He fights elegantly, for his slightly more more better.
And elegant for my school means by reciting poetry. It could still be dirty fighting, but you do it by reciting poetry.
Pretty good.
Okay, should we roll?
Yeah. I got
Yep.
an
And see
18.
who's
It's about as good as I'm getting.
18.
It's about as good as I'm getting.
18.
I got a 19.
Nicely done.
Oh,
At least
so
he
it's
put up a
Chunks.
good fight.
Yeah, so he
It was
yells
always
dulce et decorum est pro scholastica more. And pummels and like doesn't do it at all because his style is pummeling, right? That's what he did last time to Cyril. So he's
no,
pummeling him while
he's from the
yelling
Prim
Latin,
Maiden school, but
while yelling Latin Wilfred Owen quotes.
Yeah, the
Clytemnestra's watching this and just shaking her head in disgust.
Scarface says,
all right,
"You just said long live terrible dinosaur." And he's down to one duelist.
And the last match.
Yeah.
The last match is Quentin versus Chunks.
Oh.
Yup. Hi.
So right before the last match, what's his name? Cyril goes up and gives Chunks a little kiss on the cheek for luck, and Chunks slaps him as thank you.
Yeah. Quentin is like popping it up, tosses a rose to his fiance HH and stands, like looks at the aunties who are making, the Sturdivant's doing his best to Newpum Care impersonation over in the corner.
Scowling.
Oh, also, I want the viewers to know that I actually am part of the BDSM scene, and I know what S&M relationships are like, and this is not it. Just saying. Good. My viewers are clear on like what a healthy relationship is.
It's a good disclaimer.
Yeah, this is not a game that produces many healthy relationships.
Just telling our viewers they don't be like Sharon says S&M is like this.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll them. Oh, and pick how you're fighting.
Oh, always
Elegantly. Oh man.
Elegantly. Okay.
And that's another 23.
Damn.
I seem to be making with the 9s.
Good grief.
I'm pretty high, but let's see if I can make 3. Okay, 5. 19. No, 20. I got a 20.
But it's all Quentin.
Yeah. So he goes down saying, he goes and Cyril yells, "In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning," as Blockers is like, sputtering in defeat. So.
All right. So Quentin.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
And Chunks is like, "Hey, I wrote that one."
So yeah, you get presented. Quentin gets presented with the Baron's Claymore, and so is this a long-sought triumph, or is it? But you've so you've got everything. You've won the tournament. You're engaged to the love. There's what's the end of Quentin's story?
Yeah, I feel like this is a traditional sports style Bollywood fop ending here. There's probably a musical number, and auntie and uncle making eyes at each other, and assuming that Dave's done with it, Quentin and HH move into the murder castle, and
Murder castle.
Absolutely.
And live homicidally ever after.
Wow.
With uncle.
Dark. Okay.
It's got 5 towers and a little river that runs through the grounds.
The river comes in clear and goes out muddy. All right. Clytemnestra Winebringer is disappointed that her
California.
fellow teacher has abandoned the school for some bizarre combination of erotic ruffianry and poetic nonsense. She's
she's
gonna have to
marrying
give
into
a
that school,
real-
though. So
She is gonna, yeah. She's not sure what to make of this, and is gonna be trying to like pull Foxglove into, maybe we need to put some more. Maybe we need to get things squared away. I don't know. We'll see if Chunks and Cyril form their breakaway, but that's not her story. She just gets happily married to the man of dreams. Probably pays less and less attention to her fencing school. Well, no, fencing school's still doing pretty well, but she maybe puts a little more effort into applying her newfound foppishness and sense of style to introducing Iphigenia to a new class of suitors. So, all right, Shang, what happens with Foxglove's Foxglove's Academy?
Foxglove's Academy is saddened because the Dowager Duchess de Fenestria has left, but they've gained this new like appreciation for like chunky sort of fighting. And because we ended with our foppish at 9, like the highest it could be. So we start becoming much more about like exhibition matches. And Cyril becomes like a booth babe sort of person in all these exhibition matches. Cyril, I'm gonna say Cyril and Chunks have a happily ever after S&M relationship, and they like sail off into the sunset for their honeymoon, which involves a lot of rope.
Because they sailed.
Once it's on a boat, it's called line.
We're
right. Brandis, what happens to the?
So,
you didn't lose any beloveds.
He still has both of his beloveds, and he has the beginning of a relationship with Ohioa.
Oh yeah.
He continues to pursue, but in a hopelessly off-camera way. The school continues to become more serious about its dueling, as I wound up with an 8-2 serious split.
Woof.
And yeah, they're very intense. Sorry, 8-2 duelist, 4-6 foppish over serious. So very serious-minded duelists, and I think they just missed the brief of the setting's tone. I think is what happened with my dice rolls here. But they're disappointed to have lost the Claymore this year, but they swear some vengeance, and they'll be back for it next year.
Yeah, you might not want that.
I don't get it. You say maybe state's evidence.
Something like that.
So yeah, I think it's sort of a very Cobra Kai ending.
All right, and Dave, wrap us up.
So I take my betrothed, my fiance, out to the gatehouse, which has always had a lot of crows, very large crows hanging out at it. And I point up to them and I say, I finally have an answer. Say, because it can produce a few notes, though they are very flat, and it is never put the wrong end in front. And I just look expectantly.
Very good.
I don't get it.
It was Chunks. It was always Chunks.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, we ended with a 9-1 duelist aristocrat split.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, very, very close.
So just so close to being disowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but so did any characters learn, except Chunks learned that he was a gay sadist? But other than that, I don't.
Good poetry.
And Cyril learned that. And yeah, he learned that he was a gay sadist and some poetry. Okay,
And some
that's
poetry.
it's not exactly your after-school special lesson, but there it is. HH got away with everything.
He did.
Like the end of Hannibal, the book, not the TV show.
I feel like
And
Chunks learned that he always liked hitting people, and here's why.
The game's got legs.
Thank
This is a
you.
lot of fun, Greg.
Yay, thank
good.
you for having us, Dave and Greg.
Yes, thank you for
for sure.
hosting.
I need to share this with immediately, and it will be very much their thing.
Yeah, no, it's for
All
sure.
right.
Yay.
So
You can tell you poured a lot into each scene. Like each setup
Thank
and everything. They're very unique. They all fit the tone. And I like that there's enough that people can get in there and do what they want to do with the storytelling. All right. Thank you all so
everyone.
much.
ta-ta.
Thank you for a great playtest.
It's Chunks. It was always going to be
It
Chunks.
was always Chunks.